I'm gonna just put the headphones on her.
Don't let your child listen to whatever Chris has to say. He's going to teach her horrible things.
What
about Chris?
Me? I'm
right here.
You say hello. No,
Stranger danger.
The computer.
Stranger danger.
I'm not even a stranger. I've done hung out with that baby before.
Chris is like, I sold it 3 corns.
She so far doesn't care about strangers.
Yeah, they don't until they're my kid still doesn't. She's a psychopath.
Yeah, mine wants to meet all of them constantly.
Oh, all right. We're here. I don't even remember what episode of CornStars this is. I think
477.
Maybe that's the THN count right there. 477.
No, that's CornStars. I did the math.
Oh, okay. This episode, as always, is brought to you by BlackBoxCages.com. Check them out. Facebook, Instagram. You need a rack, you need a cage. BlackBox is all the rage. Get yourself something nice. Use the code THN at checkout. Get 10% off your order. Save yourself even more and pick up if you're in the general North Georgia region. So kind of anywhere in the Southeast. It's not a bad drive. So check it out. Silent Hill Reptiles, Mindy and JT. Unfortunately, JT could not join us. His internet is it really struggles with StreamYard. So he's probably going to be in the chat, though. And then if you go to silenthillreptiles.com, take a look at what they've got. Don't see anything that you're looking for, hit them up, because there's a chance that JT and Mindy have it somewhere. Because they do a lot of breeding, even if they don't mean to. Oh, look at that. Bill Bradley's actually pairing corns this year.
Oh, I almost entered my username as Discount Bill Bradley today.
Wish.com, Bill Bradley. Yeah.
There we go. I was trying to remember the Walmart store brand, but I couldn't place it.
Great value.
There we go.
Yeah.
Great value, Bradley.
So follow Silent Hill Reptiles, Facebook, Instagram, and then fullvisapparel.com. Get yourself some shirts. CornStars shirts, actually. You can get those on.
I'm wearing it right now.
Look at that.
Look at that. I'm wearing the CornStars.
Yeah, because you're the weirdo that wants it on the back.
Yeah. Oh,
forget about that.
I like to have my little logo on the front, big logo on the back. So everybody spam Justin telling him that's how shirts are supposed to look.
That's how a lot of people do them. I choose to do the opposite. I don't know. But hey, use the code THN at checkout on fullvisapparel.com. Get 15% off your order. That is the exclusive coupon code for THN listeners and viewers like you. This is our draft show. So we did this last year. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to it this year because we kind of talk about our either pairings we have planned that are for sure going to happen, and then maybe a few that we're wanting some input on. I definitely have a couple that I'm wanting y'all's insight on. And we'll kind of just get into it. Rosa, did you send me anything to add?
No, because I just went to take pictures, and every single one of them is in shed.
Oh, figures.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, all 3 of them. I'm not planning a ton this year. So, yeah, I'm going to try and find some older pictures of them to send in the chat.
Okay. Any updates there, KP?
Life is good. Updates are going slow. Room is in the books, so it is going to happen. We just got to find a good time for the contractor to come in. It may take a little while, but hopefully sometime early in Q1, you will see me in a new room. All the babies are doing good. I've got every single alternate eaten now. That was kind of a struggle. Did a little brumation with a couple of them. And so that was kind of a good move. Now I've got everything eaten. Now it's just to get them up to weight. And I guess get rid of some. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting rid of any.
Yes, you are.
I know Joe needs one. I've got a lot of females. So
no, I get a male.
Oh shit! Well,
you gave me the female already.
I have a couple of males. But yeah, still got corn snakes left. Looking forward to the show. I think me and Liz are going to be vending in the end of February here in Corpus. I don't know if she's coming. But she's not coming.
No.
Sad. But I do have a lot of corn snakes I'm going to be taking there. A few leopard geckos, a couple gargs. Kind of just vibing. Everything's doing good. Everything's looking healthy. Collection's kind of staying smooth. I thinned out the herd quite a bit this winter. Got a few more things shipping out this spring. So yeah, it's good. What about you, Justin? Where them updates at? Let's go, baby.
I pulled everything out of cooling over. Wait, what's today? Over the weekend. Wait, it's Thursday. No, I pulled everything out of cooling Monday.
Okay.
Maybe Tuesday. I don't remember. Either way, they were down for 46 days, so I figured that was long enough. We'll give it a shot. It's also been getting pretty damn cold here at night. So I figure what they've experienced so far was probably enough. Time will tell. So
yeah,
everyone's back in the room. Everyone's sort of warming up, and they give them a couple days, and I'll probably feed them sometime next week or next weekend. But sort of just getting the ball rolling. Usually, I'm a traditionalist, and I cool from Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I just figured this time, since we've had a legitimately cold winter, more so than the previous years, that 46 days under in that temperature range is probably good enough. So we'll see.
Yeah, I did the same. I pulled my corns and Janai out. All my cold stuff is going to be in until after Thanksgiving or after Valentine's. So
yeah, I'm not planning on pairing a whole lot. Planning being the key word there. I too have plenty of corns from last year still. So if anyone interested, I got some really nice Hypo Mask, Het Pied, Het Anery, Diffuse. Some are Tessera, some are not. All looking real good. So I don't think you'll be disappointed if you end up with a pair. Hit me up. Willing to wheel and deal a little bit. I think that's pretty much it.
Damn it. Awesome.
So I'm gonna be on this year. I'm gonna be on the hunt for a male Leonis or two.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of at the top of the docket for Daytona at least, unless something comes up between now and then. So
sent you those two.
Bill said trade for an alligator snapper. That is
maybe
extremely tempting because he's been teasing me with this AST for a minute. So
that's got to be a fun pet, right?
I am extremely interested in them. I do want one, but then I show my wife the adults at the zoos, and she's like, absolutely not. But
don't they live for like?
That will be my great grandchildren's inheritance.
Yeah,
like they don't die. Those things are incredible. They're literally dinosaurs. So, but I don't know. Well, I mean, if it outlives me, then maybe it won't be gigantic by the time I'm gone, and then it could be my child and grandchildren's cross to bear.
Yeah.
Bill said it's worth it. But Bill doesn't understand, like, if we do that, he's getting, like, 20 damn corn snakes.
I am sending you the whole box.
I'll send a few to him, too, just to make it even.
We'll round it up to 30.
Yeah.
Liz, what's happening out your way?
Not a lot. I didn't brewmate anything this year. We don't really have it set up how I wanted it to be to brewmate stuff. So we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants and see what pairs and what doesn't. I'm not too worried about it, though, because last year was the only year I've ever brewmated. And, I mean, I've never really had horrible luck with breeding. So we'll see.
Yes, I, too, am excited for Chris's Leonis production.
Yeah, our friend Nisarg said in the chat he's excited for my Leonis. This could just be a Leonis podcast. I got pictures ready to go. You know what I mean?
I don't. As much as I want to.
I'm kidding.
It doesn't fit with the name scheme.
What would Leonis be? Joe, think about it. You're on it. Joe, what's up,
I'll
man?
work on it.
How are you doing tonight?
Just got off work. Just crammed everything in together. Pizza ordered for the family.
Right.
Sitting down, cracked a beer. Realized I have old pictures of the things that I might be able to pair unless I decide last minute, like, oh no, I'm just gonna chuck them together.
Okay, I gotta know, how much does a pizza cost out in California?
If you get the special one, like you're trying to make someone happy and it's shaped like a heart from the place down the street, then it's $27.
Damn.
But
Jeez.
you go everything from like $10 to $40 depending on where you go out here.
You guys have
40?
Little Caesars out there?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said 10.
Little Caesars is $6, sir, for the extra most bestest pepperoni.
Not out
Why
there.
would you get that and not Crazy Bread?
I think Crazy Bread's like $3 or $4.
So I just automatically assume 10.
You don't get one without the other. It is a package deal.
I've got this shit down. It's fine.
And then you got to get the Buffalo Ranch sauce. That's another 69 cents.
Yep. But yeah, normally, so Thursday's pizza night here, and normally I make the pizza every Thursday, but it's going to be the only chance we get to see Chris's face for like the next 3 months. And so ordered a pizza, look at the Chris.
Look at that.
Yeah. There we go, baby.
What do you got? Anything going on currently as far as the animals go?
I don't brewmate here because it's not worth my time to even try. The temperature fluctuates so much and it never stays cold enough long enough because coastal California doesn't want that to happen. But I'm not repeating last year's. Last year I just made a bunch of blood red or diffused with some heads because they're part of a further along project. This year I might throw some of the other pied side blood reds together. If any of them decide that they're going to be female this year, once again I forgot to probe anything. So it's going to be chuck things together and hope for the best this year. But yeah, I'm still sitting on a good number of things from last year, the things that did not start feeding until recently. And got a new wholesaler recently, but there's only so many they can move at a time.
Sure.
Because my last few they fell apart miserably. And I don't get to vend any shows in the near future, so we'll see how that goes.
Now, Liz, go ahead, Justin.
I was saying, I got buddies that are vending a lot of shows in Georgia and stuff, and it's like I'd love to be able to sell you corns, but corns are illegal in Georgia. So,
Liz, I know you've ended a lot more shows this year. Have your sales been better than most people doing online sales?
I mean, I've sold more at shows than I have online. It's still a struggle with all the ball pythons. Because people would much rather pay $100 for a snake that's this big around than a snake that's this big around.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but we're just continuing to kind of get our name out there. Every show we go to, we have more and more people come up to us and say, "Hey, I came here to look at your table," or "Hey, I saw you on Facebook and I wanted to come see what you have." So we keep an optimistic point of view about it. Even if we're not selling a whole lot, we're still getting our name out there. We're marketing. Sales have been okay. We sell. We've at least covered expenses at all the shows we've gone to. So that's a plus. And then, of course, we do make money here and there. We've got a lot more variety on our table since we brought those consignment snakes over from Ian. That puts some more bloodline and some more color on our table. And then hopefully our next couple of shows we have coming up at the end of this month and into the spring will go good because we've got some adults and some holdback sub-adults that we're letting go of and bringing them along. So hopefully we'll have some luck there.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that you have people who are coming to see you at a show. I mean, how many times have we gone to, like, Daytona is a good example. Like every year at Daytona, you're scoping out some of these tables. Maybe you don't get anything from that table, but next year, where's the first table you're going to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that you were eyeballing last year, So that's good. I also got I picked up my Spring Island corns. I got my hands on a pair of those finally. So excited about that. Those will look real good.
Yeah. Those are cool. Those are real nice.
Are any of your Ladies Island females big enough to go this year, aside from the first? Any of the F1s?
No, not females.
No.
Males, yeah. Which, I mean, we'll get into that here in a second. Chris, what are you smoking?
This is La Aroma de Cubana. What you call it? Passion.
Oh,
Yeah, I love these. They're so good.
where do we want to start?
Start with you, Justin.
Okay.
Johnny on the spot.
I don't have a lot really, so I guess we can. So the definite pair that is happening for sure is this pie. This is the male that produced the het pied stuff from
Hypos.
last year. Yep.
He definitely looks hypo now.
Yep. Now that I've seen the female that you gave to me at Daytona to use, looking at the two, I'm like, it's very obvious. Yeah. So that pair is pretty much one of the pairs that is for sure happening, kind of regardless of whatever else may be going on. Excited to see what those produce. Like that male, man, the amount of white he's got on him is just nuts.
And she's pretty low expression, but she has some really nice white.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. I can't wait to get a couple babies from you from that pair. It's gonna be great.
I think I need females from that.
She's a great snake. That's thing number 2. I had a thing number 1 and a thing number 2. That's thing number 2.
Yeah, he's a good breeder too, man. He's itching usually to make it happen. He didn't waste any time with that ghost Tessera girl. So this is where things kind of, I'm not sure what to do. So this is the other female that Chris handed off at Daytona.
She's awesome. Oh my God, it's so hard to get the pinks in that picture.
It is.
She is so pink.
I don't know what route I should go. So I've talked about wanting to do Castagna and like a coral ghost kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I figured that those two traits would go together really well. So my thoughts were this female, which she's coral ghost Aztec, right?
That is a JMG coral ghost Aztec het amel het stripe pos het sunkissed.
Right. So I have this male Castagna from Mike Kosicki. See if I can bring him up here a little bit. I also don't know how much of a delay there is because I don't see the actual StreamYard window.
Yeah. Also, people listening and watching take notes. This is what your males should look like, right? Like nice, bread-shaped, aggressive-looking snakes. See a lot of tubby males out there. They're not going to want to breed.
Yeah, chunky males are they're
lazy,
not motivated.
Yeah, this guy's
I don't mind
odd.
a female being a little tum-tum.
This Castagna male seems to be in a perpetual state of shed cycles. It seems like he is shedding almost constantly. It's very strange. I've never seen anything like it. There's nothing wrong with him that I'm aware of, but he's always shedding. It's very odd. Nisarg also asked, am I working with any other localities? So I have my Ladies Island stuff, and then I have a Beaufort County male that is not an island locality, which is this guy right here, who is the other one that I'm very possibly thinking about putting with this girl, for obvious reasons. I mean, he's ridiculous. Was really hoping it was a female. Finally figured out that it is actually, in fact, a male. So
it's a cool ass snake, though.
He is very cool. I love him. Raised him up, got him as a fresh out of the egg baby. My cousin's kid found him in their yard or something and brought it to me, and so I just raised it up, and it's just gotten better and better with time. So
I wish I could find cool stuff in my yard.
Yeah,
you got Texas rats.
They're so boring. I see them all the time.
Le gas.
And they're mean.
Yeah, they are that. They're fussy little shitbags.
Solid Serpents, real quick. He said, can someone explain this draft or what is happening in case you missed it? I probably should have done that at the beginning. So basically, we're talking about pairings for this year, sort of, again, stuff that we fully decided are happening, and then things like in this case, I'm not sure exactly which route I should go, and I'll explain a little bit more here in a second as far as this female goes. And we're just, it's just something fun to do. It's nice to get people's opinions and get, instead of having a sort of just a phone call or something like I would.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help someone somewhere. So that's what we're doing there. So the other option with this female is this undocumented male Anery Motley. I don't know what Hetsy's got going on. He was like a PetSmart baby because the people I got him from PetSmart.
Probably had a male.
He's got a ton of yellow though. He's got a ton of yellow.
Yeah, I like that yellow.
Like he's an awesome snake. I really like the look of Anery Motley's. So I think he's also an older snake. You can kind of tell by the head. He looks fairly aged.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Got him off Craigslist. He's been cool. He's been great. Eats great. Super mellow. Just a nice looking snake. So
that's a good pair, right? You've got the het stripe, so the Motley's going to work with the stripe, and you're probably going to produce Motleys with a small chance of a stripe. You're going to get Anerys. You're going to get half that are going to have the red coat. Red factor. Brain just went dead. Joe, is it red factor or red coat? You got 3 seconds.
The second you can't remember. Factor, isn't it?
Red factor.
Red
yes,
coat,
correct.
Salmon.
Red coat is like a
Don't
coat.
do that to me. JT's not here.
Red factor.
In the chat yelling at me.
So you'll get some amount of red factor in the clutch. You'll get Motleys with the potential of stripe. You'll have all Anerys. If he's het hypo, you'll get ghosts, and if he's het amel, you'll get snows, and you get combos of all of that. And he's a really cool looking pattern Motley, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always love a good like kind of bullet hole hurricane connected stripe Motley is kind of my favorite.
Yeah, you get some really nice color in between the hurricanes with those two. I love it. The browns on them are great. Plus, you don't know how old he is. You might want to get him going at least. If you know he can go this season.
Yeah, get something in there.
Like, what if he's 20?
Here's my reservation, because again, like Castagna into the Coral Ghost thing is really at the top of my list of stuff that I want to do. My only issue is I have so many het Castagnas right now with everything else.
You got a lot of Castagna.
I got a lot of het Castagnas, so it's like, do I want to make another clutch of entire hets that I then also have to sit on for several years before anything really happens, or do I just go ahead and try out this guy, or finally break in this Beaufort County male who I've had since 2018, and he has not been bred, but I also think that blood mixed into here would be pretty interesting.
Be pretty cool
down the line. Because we'll get into the Ladies Island stuff here in a few, but it's just hard to decide, because it's like I'm not as crazy about having this guy in there with her. He's such a nice looking snake. I would like to pair him to something at some point, whether that's this season or sometime later, who knows. So I wanted personal opinions as far as what you guys think.
I would say my concern on the Castagna into that girl, her name is Pinkalicious, by the way. My daughter helps name everything.
Oh, I was unaware.
Yes, Pinkalicious. So that generates a bunch of plastics, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it also generates another project in your pocket where you're holding back 2.2 or something. You know what I mean? Now, you would get some red factors, but I truly believe that out of the egg, they're going to be tough to tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be like an Anery red factor, which after a couple sheds, you'll kind of be able to pick the red factors out. Because she's only got one copy of red factor. So you're lucky if you get half the clutch holding with red factor.
Because also, I'm keeping in mind she's a pretty decent sized female, so if she gives me a clutch, it's probably going to be big. It's going to be
I think she gave me 13 her first year breeding, and then I gave her a year off, and then you got her because I gave her last year off, and she's probably a 400 gram female, right?
Yeah, if I had to guess, roundabout
somewhere in there.
Yep.
She's a good size. So yeah, you're talking 14 to 16 animals that are kind of just like pocket project when you're already like www.justinhascastagna.com/oh my god Castagna.
But I need more.
More. Well, I'm going to be
More.
producing some Castani to send you. So I really like. I didn't even remember that you had that male, and I instantly love that. Right? Like it's
What, this Castania boy?
oh no, the Motley male.
Oh yeah.
Captain PetSmart. He's
I
great,
named him
man.
Uvezian.
Uvezian. There's somebody who doesn't have a kid naming their snakes.
Well, your kid
but-
doesn't smoke cigars, so
She's working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, there we go.
She keeps inhaling. I'm trying to get her to fix that. Man, he's good. I like him. But at the same time, I mean, God, we had such great results from pairing the Ladies Island stuff into Anthrax or
Absinthe.
Absinthe last year. But we also still have those snakes, right? So we're a couple years away from working that same kind of morph package into the Ladies Island, right? Like we're 2 or 3 years from us producing Ghost, Tessera combinations of Ladies Island. Man, he's a good looking male though. I love that dark saturation. He's good. That's a good one.
He's such a nice snake.
He's really pretty.
yeah, I just love how his saddles just are straight black squares as you get to the tail.
Yeah.
Like it just,
You need to stick him in an Okati project.
I know. That's always kind of been in the back of my mind. Now that I know it's a male, it's finding a female that'll do it justice.
Yeah.
'cause I've also planned on pairing him to the Ladies Island female, but the Ladies Island female is almost always tied up in other projects and stuff that
Sure.
I'm doing other things with. So
God, you
He's
put him
probably
into-
going to add. Do what?
Oh, go ahead.
I say he's probably going to add border to just about anything you put him with.
And gosh, that melanin saturation, getting that into anery or charcoal,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be awesome.
Shit, getting some. Oh no, I'm thinking the wrong thing. I was gonna say pair him with Stanny, and like he's already got a really cool color transition where he fades into that sort of heavy melon and wash towards the back end of him. So pairing him with another snake that's gonna do that already is gonna be really
right,
cool.
it sort of complicates it.
Yeah,
Or
compliments.
compounds it. Yeah.
There we go.
You know,
Good
Solid
on-
Serpent's made a good point that dark black saturation, that melanin saturation into that female, and then especially getting red factor in there might be pretty badass.
Yeah.
You get a lot of possets with that also, kind of just like thinking, you're going to end up with a bunch of possets, which is kind of tough.
With the Buford guy or this other?
Yeah, when you put the Buford County into her, you're going to end up with like posset stripe, posset.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Het hypo, het anery, some possible red factors, a posset amel, right? They kind of become a mess. Not that that's a bad thing, right? It just it kind of muddies that water a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, nice work starting with one we can't help you on because we're all split all 3 ways.
Yeah,
That's a good plan.
I do.
Maybe I'll flip a coin.
Yeah. What's the next pairing? And then we'll kind of think about it.
So the next pairing is one that is also, again, like definitely happening. And that is the Ladies Island female to one of her 2021 kids.
Yeah.
So
good.
this
Those
is
are real light.
This is like the first step in that line breeding project with this. This is a male that I actually like Jake took, and he got upset because I couldn't. I still struggle to sex snakes accurately, and he's like, "This is a male. It's not a female." So I got this one back, and it's gonna go back to mom here. And these are all recent pictures that I literally just took like the day before yesterday.
That male has a lot of that nice white blushing outside the borders.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the idea you put those two together. Trying to, that's a tough thing to put us right out of the egg, though. So if you spread the babies out to people, and kind of fight for a female that has a similar look to him. He almost has like a buckskin look to him.
Yeah, he does.
That's
Which is
my male
odd,
ended up
'cause-
looking a lot like that.
Yeah, because the male to these is a really dark one that's very similar to this other guy. You know, the one we were just talking about. Except he's more overall sort of darker, just that deeper brown. So it's been really interesting because some have sort of gone that route. Some have gone the route of mom and having a lighter sort of overall tone, and then there's these ones that are just kind of, I don't know where that's coming from, but neither of the parents really have that tannish buckskin sort of color to them.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. So
he's good.
I'm excited about that, and I kind of
It's a great pairing.
Thoughts on that too. I need to talk to Doc Lofen about it. You know, producing these, and then depending on how many I end up with, you know, maybe releasing some back out on the property where these, you know, where mom came from. Which they were just briefly talking about translocation on Colubrid and Cluboid Radio with the new episode that just dropped. You know, these are 100% both, you know, these are from that same plot of land, my parents' property. So
It's pretty cool.
I don't really worry about the genes or anything like that, but I know pathogens can be a sort of a concern, which there shouldn't be any. I haven't had any issues, but I just need to do a little more research on it before I just, you know, go and do that.
So, go willy-nilly with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a perfect pairing. That right there is exactly what you want to do.
And then I don't know. Right? I might give her 2025 off because this would also be like the third year in a row she's been paired. So
yeah,
she probably needs a break.
And you should have some more of her babies ready by then too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because mine are gonna go 2025.
There's a world where you plug that dark male into her, right? Like, because.
Yeah, that was kind of the original plan, right? But I decided to keep the Ladies Island stuff together, and you know, he's in Beaufort County, so he's from sort of the other side of town.
Yeah.
But you know, he's nice.
Yeah, man, I like that. I do like that pair, just like that.
Let's see. Bill said he's got the Ladies Island, and he's got Ladies Island het ghost babies that he got from Billy.
Those are good snakes.
Okay, so this is another pair. So these are smaller. These are ones that I've been raising up now. I got them at Daytona 2 years ago. If I did these, the clutch would be small. This is the boy here. This is the female. They're both supposed to be het candy cane and het honey, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Maybe honey motley. But this is a pair that I, you know, as soon as I saw them, I snatched them up. I jokingly say that this is the pair of corns that broke up the magazine because I spent some money on these that I shouldn't have, and it caused a problem. So, you know, there's that.
I like the look of them.
Dude, this male kills me. Like, he's got such a Miami look to him.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I've been waiting on these for a while.
A honey motley tessera would be pretty.
Oh yeah. Motley tessera is just so good.
I'm tempted to do them again. It'd be a small clutch because she's on the smaller side. But you know, if that is the case and it's a smaller clutch, you know, is it worth it to do it on top of the other projects? You know, I'm not really sure.
You could also, you know, you could just because I know you don't want to produce too many snakes this year, and that's something I'm going to be talking a lot about when I get to my group. You could sleep on these. You could not pair them, feed them heavy, right, and then maybe pair them up towards the end of the summer, right?
Yeah.
For that kind of like June, July pair, when that female be ovulating again, and go for a late clutch and kind of just, you know what I mean? Because and you said these are both test mod, right? They're both motley and tessera.
I know that. I mean, they're tessera for sure. As far as the motley goes, I don't recall off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say I don't think they're motley, but you said they're het.
Het candy cane and het honey, and for some reason I have het HM, which makes me think it was honey motley, but I could be wrong. So.
Gosh, but you know, you get those tessera. If it is motley, I mean, the tessera mots are just the best. And then if you're producing butters in that candy cane world, everybody is happy with butters. Are like probably don't get enough love, right?
I just got
Definitely
excited because I love candy cane and I love honey. So I was like, this is het for two of my favorite things, and they're both
Yeah.
killer looking snakes, especially that boy. And there's nothing saying that this male couldn't go to the homegirl up here. Like
Yeah.
he'd be along for quite a ride because she's considerably larger than him, but
Hey, they can do it.
Yeah.
And you would get some really cool. I mean, even as small as that clutch might be, you have the chance of every one of those eggs hatching out as something different. You get yourself a little
Yeah.
Betty clutch.
Yeah.
I mean, also spreading that Tessera love, baby. I'm bringing Tessera back. You know what I mean?
You've almost got me sold.
It'll take over.
Yeah, I know. That's why I've come to want it in smaller doses because it does. Once it's there, it's there. It ain't going nowhere. It's like the herpes of genes.
It's but it's like good herpes.
I thought that was ultra.
Is there a good herpes?
The one that you don't have that makes someone else's.
The one that you don't have.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. Again, if you're gonna stand back on one and wait a year or wait until late summer, it'd be that pair. But you're right, that boy could go to the ghost. I mean, I'd be less excited that boy going to the ghost female, just because she's also got that cool Aztec, so you might get some Aztecs in there, which nobody will ever know how Aztec works.
It's not real.
It's not real. They just actually exist. Oh, what is this?
So
gray snakes.
Other options is I have this female anery from JT that I believe is het green blotch and some other things. I have it written down somewhere. I tried to find my note card for it and couldn't earlier before we started.
Yeah.
And then there's this oddball male that Chris and I have been sitting on for quite a while. He's in shed. I just took this tonight.
Oh, that's the one that I produced. Yeah.
He's the one that I think is the buff anery. I really think that's what's going on. Talking to Tony D and showing him the pictures of it, that's what he thinks it would be as well. So I don't know. I'm not in any hurry to breed this female. She's actually been one that I've been planning on parting with for a little while now, just because I found her to be non-essential personnel. But I figured I'd at least bring her up as potential for something, because I also thought putting that Motley male to her too instead of Aztec girl, because again this would also not be a very large clutch because she's a small adult. She's not massive or anything.
What about that dark Ladies Island boy to her, like the two darkest snakes you have, right?
Yeah, do that.
Right, you're gonna make a bunch of really dark ass head anery normals.
You're talking about this guy? You're talking about the
Buford guy?
Yeah.
I like that. I like
bring some distinct borders in.
Oh man, and she's got killer borders, right? She's already got that kind of Okati look.
Look at that.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Just slide that boy down there.
Yeah, we're going. Because the thought part of me was like, I can start working on making like those silver Okati things that Abbott pops out.
I think you could make something darker.
They wouldn't be the same thing, but
and then all the babies are going to be bangers, right? Because they're all going to have that Okati vibe to them, and fresh blood. Oh.
Yeah. And then okay, well let me bring in another a wild card into this. I've got this Het Sunkissed psychopath of a male. I'm not even sure that I like him. He's a freak, thinks everything is food, but damn it, is he pretty. He came from Crystal Colubrids. Yeah, and he's I've got a Sunkissed girl that I do plan on pairing to him at some point. It probably won't be for another year or two, but he's really hard. Pictures don't do him justice, man. He's a smoking. This whole clutch that they produce, that him and his siblings, man, they were all bangers. Shout out to Kodiak and their chewy granola bars, keeping me and my kid satiated in the mornings on our way to school and work. And then shout out to Stables mouse pads, because That's a perfect little long skinny box that they like to hide in.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, he's cool. Not seeing any females off the bat that jump out to me and say like you should pair him to that. If he's het sun-kissed, there is the world where that the female you got from me, Pink Alicious, she is het sun-kissed. So
I don't know. We'll back burner him. And then finally, the honey project that I've been so slowly working towards. Honey Motley, or Honey Stripe here, rather. I'm sorry. I had this girl for a while. Again, it would be a smaller clutch because she's not a big female by any means. And then Jigsaw, which was produced by JT.
Yeah.
And he's just, there's an alternate reality where I pair him to everything.
I've got his brother, I think.
Yeah, dude.
He's putting in work too.
So this is a pair that again is like for sure going to happen, whether it happens this year or this is one that I punt one more year. I don't know. I love honeys, man, and I got this female specifically for him. Like I went to Daytona because I remember seeing honey stripes at Daytona the year prior and was like, I got to get one of those next year.
Yeah,
and so
honey stripes are so good.
When I walked into Daytona that year, I went straight to the table and got one of these. Before I even walked around the show, I went straight to the guy that I knew had them and bought one. So
I've been in love with that girl since you got her. Like, pair her. I want babies.
I'd love to see that pair go. Now he doesn't have any Motley or Stripe to get the visuals, excuse me. But you're taking JT's line and adding making a bunch of het stripes, which is a good thing, dude. Some Tessera,
more honey,
Tessera het stripe. Honeys.
I want people to call me Winnie the Pooh.
You're gonna regret saying that.
I want them to be like, "Where's the honeys at?" And I'll be like, "I got them."
It's great.
I do love honey.
Look at your male. Okay, look at his tail. Right, mine does the same thing. They have these black stripes on the tail in the Tessera format, and it's badass. Mine's got that same tail.
Yeah, and it's wild to see the saturation on him, like especially in the neck, like that the caramel in that combination just seeping in, because it's the same thing on the girl too. If my computer would cooperate. This looks like a darker sort of brownish color, but that is actually like crazy yellow. My phone
she's cool.
Sucks. So
yeah, dude. So we're doing that for sure.
Yeah, please, like for real. I have a fire het caramel from Phelan. Like I need that.
I think that's okay. Well, I think that's all of mine. Like I said, I didn't have a ton. But...
that male kind of OKT looking guy right there. You said he was het Motley, het sun-kissed. The guy at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's a good snake. Nothing wrong with that snake. You've got a little bit of redundant genetics in him, so I would say keep him on the shelf, keep him fed.
Oh, I definitely plan on putting him into like sun-kissed stuff. Like I have a female sun-kissed that she's horrible too, but man, they would make some killer babies. They go so well together.
Man, so the way I would do it is I would go the Motley Anery to the Red Factor Ghost, and then I would go Dark Ladies Island to the dark Anery. Oh my God! Like I think you got 3 people right here that want babies from that pair.
The Buford male.
Yeah, that's real good right there, man. Then you got your Ladies Island pair you're going to do for sure, right? Like keep the Ladies Island thing going, and then pair up those honeys, and then I would say hold off on the Tesseras. Obviously, we're doing the pie blood reds. Like that's a for surezies.
Yeah.
I would hold off on the Tesseras till later in the season. If you want to get more corns, go for it. If you're like, man, 5 pairs was maybe too much. I think that's a good, man. If five pairs is kind of where I'm probably going to be sitting too. I think that's a good. And dude, what a spread, right? Like you'll have pied blood reds, het hypo. You'll have some Anery, Motley, possible AML stuff in there, Red Factor, like really good stuff going on. You'll have Ladies Island pure locality. You'll have some really, really dark Okatee kind of het annery stuff. Who knows what else,
she's het for some other stuff. Again, I don't remember. I know Green Blotch was one of them, and then there was one or two other things. So
I want to see those babies the second they come out of the egg. Yeah. And then carrying on Hannibal into another, again, outcrossing Hannibal line babies into a stripe. Now you're gonna have het stripes. Dude, Tessera het stripe. Dude, a Tessera honey het stripe. Let's go, baby. Like, boom, right? Because now if you take the stripe, you add it to the Tessera. So, like, let's say you take those and carry them back. Maybe you keep a male, take that male back to her. So now you have a Tessera het stripe. You're going to get stripes and you're going to get striped Tesseras. The striped Tesseras are going to be that crazy, vanishing, ridiculous looking thing because of the sun-kissed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because sun-kissed stripe Tessera gives you a, it's bass bait, but you're going to have honey bass bait. So I'm in.
So
I vibe with it.
Yeah, if anything has to fall off, the Tessera pair.
Yeah.
And those would probably still be nice, but everything else is so solid.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this Annery male, eventually, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I've got that ultra Annery Tessera female that I got at Daytona last year that would go really well with him.
That'd be cool. Because he's got good hets. He's het Motley. Het Motley stripe, and then he's het either Ultra or AML, so you'll kind of find out that pretty quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Posset Sunkissed. What else? I think that's it on him. Oh, yeah, Pothead Sunkissed. That's it.
I don't think I've ever seen an Ultra Annery. I've seen Ultra Mel Annery, but I don't think I've ever seen
Justin got an Ultra Annery, and it turns out they're absolutely gangster. They're awesome.
Okay.
I love that freaking snake, dude. That thing just makes me go from 6 to midnight every time I open the tub.
It's a less soft ghost, right? When you look at it, it almost looks ghost. Yeah, but the yellow saturation on it is batshit. It's so good.
All right. I don't like this thing where you guys make me like Ultramel and Tessera and shit like that.
I sent you a Tessera Ultramel this year, right?
Yeah, and it's fucking gorgeous.
It's awesome, right? Here,
it's
real quick.
Beautiful.
Look, zoom in, Justin, on the stripy girl right over here on my list over here.
Which stripy girl?
The one with the blue glove.
What?
The one right there, that one.
The one with the blue glove. It's a picture from Chris. It's got a blue glove on it.
That girl right there. That's a Tessera Ultramel.
This one?
That girl right there. Oof. 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 Look at that. This makes you breathe heavy, doesn't it? That's what I produced. So that's from the same. You have a baby from that same parent.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I also have an Ultramel, not Tessera, that you send me. That is an absolute dickhead.
That's just because it's Chris.
Yeah, I produce real shitty snakes. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I leech all my positivity out of them. Let's do Liz next. Liz, you go next.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we want to go ahead and handle?
Oh, me next.
Mine's a clusterfuck.
A little bit, but you have to tell me what's male and what's female because I don't.
That's a female.
Okay.
That's a female. The Annery Tessera that's real small is a female. All 4 of those in that top group are male. And this is nowhere near the amount of adults that I have. That's my micro scaleless.
Is it a boy or girl?
It's a boy. This is a small handful of the some 22 pairings that I mapped out earlier.
Fluorescent looking something?
That's a male.
Ooh.
And then those other 3 are all females.
Okay. I'll say Greer Eye wannabe corn there.
Watch it.
Hey, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Looks like an Eastern milk snake, sir, not a Greer
That
Eye.
thing is incredible looking.
Well, that's fucking awesome.
I love that snake.
All right, hold on a second. Someone else just hopped in. Let me get this situated, and then we'll see who.
Oh my god! What if it's Keller? What if it's Keller? I'm just scared.
It's not. It's okay. Eric. It says he's not connected. So.
Is Westmoreland coming to just show us the
Maybe.
live stream of his room?
Did we get to see him cleaning, and every once in a
I
while he's
want it
like,
so bad. I love
And
it.
then all of a sudden, you just hear like,
It's my favorite thing.
All right. Let's see here. So, where's my damn bar? Trying to navigate Canva while I'm doing this is proving to be difficult. That's
I
a
gotta
nice
get my
snake.
list out.
imagine a world where we prepped for this better.
Dude, I'm actually more prepared this year than I was last year
True.
because I made
I
sure
still
that I
haven't
had
watched last
pictures
year's.
and stuff together.
What'd you say, Joe?
I still haven't watched last year's. I've only listened to it multiple times, and it's
Go ahead
not
and
that much fun that way.
Go ahead and kick him off, Justin.
I'm not gonna do my boy like that.
I've listened to it.
Joe, are you coming to Daytona?
Yes, I am.
My man's. Oh, dude, I have just the biggest, burliest hug ever for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I
You're
booked
gonna
the
feel
room
something
the
on your
morning.
leg. Ignore it.
I won't feel it through my own. It'll be fine.
Oh my God, Keller.
We're gonna
is
be hugging, but we're gonna be 3 feet apart, holding out.
Keller is
hugs
gonna
and-
subject you to so much molestation. It's not even funny.
Oh.
Won't count if I get him first.
It's a race.
Worst game of tag ever. Anyways, let's start with this female right yonder.
Yep, so that is one of my fluorescent reverse Okities. She's small. She's old enough to go this year. Usually if they're old enough, I'll go ahead and let them go because I'd rather them lay fertile eggs than have a bunch of slugs stuck in them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty sure I'm going to pair her. I have a picture of the male I'm going to pair her to, but I forgot to send it. He's a scaleless ultramole het for Anery Motley. And try and get some
I bet you
Reverse
scaleless
Okities.
Henry Motleys look cool.
scaleless Anery Motleys.
Yeah.
I have a scaleless Anery Tessera. I don't have a Motley yet, though. But I'll shoot for some scaleless ultramole Okity babies down the line.
Like out of the scaleless stuff, Anery looks the best, but I'm sure
Yeah.
because I like Anery Motley so much, I feel like a scaleless Anery Motley would be a really good looking snake too.
I didn't send pictures of near as many snakes as I thought I sent pictures of. Like that weird backwards castagna male I got. I could have sworn
Yeah.
I sent a picture of that one, but I
Maybe
guess
let me double check.
I might not have.
Justin's also got clinical smooth brain, right? So
Can you add them in if I send them now?
Yeah.
Let me do that real quick.
I think I'm flying to Daytona this year.
We booked our hotel, but we're not going to go unless we can get plane tickets.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I want to fly because the 18-hour drive actually did kind of suck.
I see what happened
I
here.
have no choice. I have to fly because that drive is just.
I-
not
Oh,
possible.
just make a week of it and drive.
I was about to say it's like a 36-hour drive.
I love my husband, but I don't want to be in a car with him for that long.
Get a roof rack, put him on top. He'll be all right.
Okay, I sent a picture of the castagna male in the group chat, and then let me find the picture of my scaleless male.
Dude, that's a freaking Mollendorfi in corn form. Oh my god.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh.
There's my scaleless male. Yeah, I don't quite understand that castagna, but he was produced by Roy Lance.
Nice. Well, Justin's doing that. I got a sweet new tattoo. I got a xenomorph on my arm.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Pretty excited about it.
We don't have the heart to tell him it's
Therapy.
actually a penis.
It's actually just a penis.
A thing can be two things, Justin.
It's a penis morph.
They both are.
It's called art. Get it together, Justin.
They're uploading. Give me just a second.
Man, I feel so bad for everybody that listens to this episode.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
There's definitely one that's more so viewed than anything else.
I would say that's half the reason I'm on it, because I wasn't going to have a chance to watch it otherwise. I was going to be listening at work and not as good. Plus, I wanted to see Liz's snakes.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I keep going in thinking I'm going to zoom in on the screen, and I'm not the one.
I know. I keep trying to click on it and zoom in. Y'all get an up close picture of my face because I'm blind even with my glasses on, so I have to squint and lean in.
I don't know what that's like at all. I haven't been doing that this whole time.
Yeah,
I can make this
because I'm not wearing my glasses.
You want me to make? What does this do?
Oh my God, we're gone. I love it. This is it. Anyways, guys, thank you for coming to the 2024 CornStars draft.
Is that better?
No.
Then
Who's
what?
talking? Nobody gets to know.
It's still uploading on Justin's TI-86.
What the hell is that?
This is
It's a
snake.
calculator, and you torque.
Oh.
I'm just like, the engineer made a joke. It's about a calculator.
Oh my God, imagine. I got something for you.
Look, you guys did.
What the hell is happening?
All right.
I'm scared because I can't see what he's doing.
Put me on camera right now.
Sorry, I'm causing problems.
Look at
We're
this.
back.
Joe, there's one that I keep in my garage, and there's number 2 that I keep in my garage at all times,
Nerd.
bro. We out here.
Like, how many loops and pairs of calipers do I have in my bedroom right now? I don't.
We got them scientific graphic calculators ready to go, baby.
I just looked over to see if my loop up on the dresser is still there, and I can see it from here.
Nice.
So this is the Mollendorfi corn.
That is definitely a Castagna Dorfi.
God, that thing is cool.
That's a good snake. Oh man, it's a male though, right?
Yep.
So we can't. Justin can't send you his male to pair to him because
No, but I'd pair that to everything too.
yeah, that's real good. That's silly. Did you get that? That's not a recent grab, or was that from the same where I got my pair from?
No, he's from a different place.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. I love the. I'm used to him having the fade from one color to the other, but he starts and ends with the same sort of color pattern. It's really cool.
There's a really neat thing going on outside of his borders, also, especially on his lower third. That kind of has like that Boy Scout Road Alterna thing going, where the orange isn't where it's supposed to be. It's kind of on the outside. That's really cool. That's a good snake. Yeah.
You can drop him in next to that regular Okati female because he's going to be going with her.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And she's not regular. She's spectacular.
I'm pretty excited to see what they produce. She's another one that's small, so it's going to be a small clutch, but she's old enough to breed, so I'm going to go ahead and give her the chance. That way I'm not as worried about her egg binding on slugs.
You're going to get some really cool babies out of those, too. That's really nice.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah. This, you said this is an Anery Tessera female?
Yeah, she's going to go with the microscaleless male. She's het, scaleless, a bunch of other stuff. She's het, scaleless, amyl, strawberry stripe. I bred them this year. I didn't get a very good clutch out of him because he was a 2-year-old this past year. So he was really young. He still got the job done, and I ended up with a couple of babies out of him. I got 2 visual microscaleless babies out of him.
Okay.
So I was content with that one. I actually didn't know he was het Anery, but he proved out het Anery this year. So hopefully, or this past year, hopefully this coming year they do that for me.
And he is micro scaleless.
Yes. So
Okay,
he's
he's not.
scaleless and microscale.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So I got you. So he's kind of like the ultra male version. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit because I've had a few listeners reach out to me. So if you have an A male and an ultra, right? Ultra is a hypotype. A male, obviously, we know what A male is. You breed
What
those
is it?
together, you'll get 100. Well, A male is the lack of melanin. It's an albino type.
What?
Stop, Justin. Justin, we're being serious. This is a serious time. Okay, you breed the A male to an ultra, which is a hypotype. You'll get an entire clutch of ultra males. So ultra male is one gene is A male, one gene is ultra, and it has a phenotype that's ultra male. They found out recently, I guess, Liz, in the last 5 years, that if you take a micro scale and a scaleless and pair them together, you will get a clutch of micro scales, right?
Yeah,
because it takes-
they figured that out in 22, I think.
Okay, so wow, within the last 2 years,
No,
year and a half. So.
20. It was whenever this male was hatched, so he'll be a 3-year-old this year. So then I guess it was 21 when they figured that out.
Okay. So the actual visual phenotype is microscaleless, and that takes one gene from the scaleless and one gene from the somebody thumbs down me. I'm about that. One gene from the microscale.
We
You get a
can do that?
microscaleless. I'm just trying to help, Justin. Thanks, appreciate it. Trying to spread the love. Let's go real south, real fast. You know what I mean? Drinking whiskey.
Yes, so I can take and breed that male to a scaleless or a het scaleless, a microscale or a het microscale, and get all sorts of different stuff
Yeah.
out of him because they work together.
Yeah. Oh man, him to scaleless. That'd be awesome. You get scaleless, micro, and microscaleless. Huh.
Mhm.
But I guess microscaleless to microscaleless gets you all three.
I think there hasn't been a ton of test breeding done yet,
Yeah.
so we're all just kind of seeing what happens
Yeah, it's cool.
when we pair all these things together. This next one, she is an Ultramole Miami Tessera. I got her from Sean Bradley. And she is going to go to that sun-kissed candy cane.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not a very good picture of her. She's probably one of the most difficult snakes in my collection to photograph. She will not sit still for crap. And she's really shy. All she wanted to do was hide. She's very shy, but she's also pretty nippy. So
that's
but
the sun-kissed coming out.
Yeah. She's got that super she looks het cinder. She's got a het cindery look to her with a real light ground zones.
Yeah. She's pretty, man. That's a good snake. It's a good pair.
I'm super excited for those babies.
Oh, I love that wash in the reds.
Kind of stonewash.
Yeah.
That male also came from Sean Bradley.
Okay. He's great too. I mean, stock standard beautiful peppermint, right?
Sun-kissed Amol Miami. Sun-kissed candy cane.
Oh, so I'm sorry. I said peppermint. Yeah, candy cane.
Gosh,
candy cane.
Chris.
There's a lot.
First time.
Get the right red and white candy, please.
So sorry. Candy canes are peppermint though, like shocker, right? So
not all of them, Chris. Some of them are root beer flavored.
Yeah, there's like the Hershey's ones.
There's all the dog shit ones, and then there's the peppermint one. Got it.
That is a creamsicle Okatee Tessera. She's also from Sean Bradley. I will be putting her with my fluorescent reverse Okatee male.
Okay, so creamsicle is a root beer corn AML. So
Yes.
Embry influence in there.
Yes.
What if we took that male right there, and I sent you a female?
Okay.
All right, deal. Say no more.
I think
Okay.
you can send one here, or I can send him there. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I think
I'd much rather ship the female. Don't like shipping males during breeding season.
Okay.
Always a worry.
You don't want to drive all the way up here to Houston? Come on.
Oh my gosh, I would absolutely love to not do that.
Yeah, because you have to go all the way through Houston to get to me.
It's only like a 13-hour drive, but it's only 2 inches on a map.
Yeah.
Joe, driven through Los Angeles?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in Houston. So
Ew.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's gross. Don't do that.
It takes 2 hours to go 20 minutes.
Are you driving through tent cities and stuff?
No, it's one city. It's just the worst city.
No, tent cities.
Oh, no, that's just straight LA.
That's no, the tents are just in LA. In Houston, they never mind. But yeah.
I did not use him this year, but I used him last year, and in 2022, I guess. I forget we're in 24 now. I used him back in 22, and I got some really pretty babies out of him. And as of now, that tester is the only thing that I've got planned for him. So let me know.
Yeah, we're going to change that. Does he have any hets?
Not that I know of. I only paired him to another fluorescent reverse Okatee, and nothing came out of it. He was a Facebook find in a local reptile sale group, and the female that he went to in 22 was a Craigslist find. So
I'm shocked
they didn't.
That you didn't hatch a snow out of that.
Yeah, they didn't give me anything other than reverse Okatees and then the fluorescent reverse Okatees. So
here, zoom out, Justin. Grab my female. Let's put her in this group. We're doing it. It's just already happening. Cause she's
Well, damn, where'd my bar go? There it is.
Technical difficulties. We'll fix this in editing.
It's the one with the blue glove, remember?
Yeah. Look for the blue glove. Oh my god,
That's
imagine
right.
I didn't send you a picture of her. That one, yeah. Look at that. Just put them next to each other. Just let the pictures touch. Now imagine they're both reverse Okatees and they kiss, right?
That's a lot of solid white saddles.
Oh, wow. Oh man. Let's do that.
When a girl snake and a boy snake like each other a lot.
Yeah.
I like how her saddles on her neck are like perfect squares.
Yeah, she's fucking great.
Yeah.
She made some killer babies this year. She is het Annery. I did prove that out, which kind of
You
made
should call that the Japanese flag line.
Yeah, that's probably not what I'm going to call it, but but yeah, she's yeah.
Game.
That would be a great pair. Little snake swap. That'd be great. I
and
would
you
love
can
to
take all the babies because I'm gonna have too much crap to deal with.
I don't know about that, Liz. I don't know. I think you're going to keep all the babies and just send her back with a pair.
I don't think so.
You could send me a mail because I've got that one hat, that caramel reverse Okatee that I got at Daytona too.
We can just disperse among the group.
Yeah,
Everyone gets a baby. You get a baby.
Yeah.
You get a baby.
Because those are going to be killer.
Yeah, dude, I can't even imagine what those babies would even look like out of the egg. Like, that's
going to be great.
That'd be wild.
His babies were super cool. I had a bunch that had like a weird, almost zigzaggy pattern to them, and some long kind of like joined saddles. I don't know if that came from him or from her. I lost her in brumation last year, so I'm never gonna know if it came from her. But
damn, that sucks.
Yeah, I was very, very upset about that one. She was one of my favorites. She was pretty stellar. But it happens.
It definitely does. But if you're down to a pair, I think that'd be a fun one to add to the group.
Yeah, for sure. And you get all the babies.
Fine. Whatever. I'll deal with it. You know what? I'm okay with it.
You're gonna force me to, I guess.
That one is a female. That's Elvira. She's the hardest snake to photograph in my collection. She doesn't sit still at all. I got her from it was a Chris. Which Chris was it? I think it may have been Macintosh.
Okay.
That she came from years ago, and she's been a slow grower. But I bought her back when shipping was only $60 still, and I paid $30 for her. And my mentor was like, "Don't you dare pay $30 or $60 shipping for a $30 snake. That's not a good idea. Don't do that." And I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna do it anyways."
Looks like it was a great idea.
Yeah, I did it, and because her picture on Morph Market was not good. She was an ugly baby. But she definitely grew into her colors. She's just a normal. She's no Miami lineage, and she's het
That's surprising.
lava cinder. Yeah, no Miami lineage there. She's het lava cinder, toss het amyl anery.
I like her. It's a cool snake.
Yep, and she's gonna go. Hopefully, this will be his first year. He's gonna be a 2-year-old, so hopefully he can get the job done. She's gonna go to a Sunkissed Cinder, Caramel, Blood Red, Posset Lava.
Is that either of these?
No, he's not on there.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't have a good picture of him because he's also an idiot.
That one looks damn near like a Glades.
That male, I'm still trying to figure out what he is. I bought him as a Hypotessera, Het Motley, Pos Het, Sunkissed Anery. Well, he ended up being a Hypotessera, Het, Amel, Anery, Sunkissed, Motley.
Yeah, he almost looks visual Motley.
And I can't really tell if he's visual Motley or not. So that's one of the things that I can't tell on him, because sometimes he looks like he has a side pattern, but sometimes he doesn't.
Hypo kind of does that, right? Like,
yeah.
Hypo kind of.
And I'm also kind of wondering if he might have some sort of red enhancing gene in him, because a lot of his babies that hatch are super bright, especially his Amel babies. They're like stupid red.
Is there a world where he has buff, right?
I have no idea.
That's
I've only got him going to one thing this year.
He could be red factored.
He's kind of my cleanup snake. If I don't have anything to pair female to, he goes in with them because he has everything. But I plugged him into, let's see, I think I put him with like 4 females this past year.
Oh, wow.
He's definitely going to go with my big Anery female. She's het Amyl Hypo Charcoal. And they gave me some pretty cool stuff this past year. But I've got some super cool sun-kissed Amel babies out of him. And let's see, I held back last year, 2022, I held back a female Hypo Sunkissed Tessera out of him. And then this most recent year, I held back a male Hypo Amel Sunkissed Tessera.
Okay.
So he makes some really pretty stuff, and he's also a very enthusiastic breeder. I don't know if it's hard to tell if he's visual Motley as well, and I don't know if he has a red enhancing gene. I think he might have maybe red factor in there.
Yeah. Because
like I said, some of his babies just come out stupid bright. Like, you got to put sunglasses on when you take them outside and look at them.
You know, man, Tessera models that so much with Hypo.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have diffused in him too? No. Yeah.
I have very little blood red diffused stuff in my collection. Mm-hmm. I've just never been a huge fan of it. Right. So I have no idea.
Yeah, he's very
but
pretty.
He's one of my favorites. He's really big too. He's a really big male. But I think I only have him go into that one female, so who knows?
I mean, if you keep getting cool stuff out of him, no matter who you're throwing him at.
Yeah. Why not?
And that's always good. It's like a goldmine snake, little treasure chest.
I was really happy whenever he proved out Anery this year. I bought him with a female. I bought him as a proven pair. And they were both Posset Anery, but judging off the pictures of the clutch they had before I got them, there were no Anerys or Snows or Ghosts. So I figured at least one of them wasn't Het Anery. Right. He proved out this year, though, and I didn't breed the female this year. But they're both Het Sunkissed Amel. And she's a Hypo Motley. I'm actually selling that female. Just cutting numbers. She's super pretty too. She's basically that same color, just Motley.
Right.
That's Slick Rick. That's my scaleless Ultramol.
I'm gonna say, man, it's got to be Ultramel.
Yeah. That
cool
is.
snake.
He gave me really pretty babies this year too. I think this was my first year breeding him. This past year, and I bred him to a Tessera that we bought as a Pos Het Scaleless. She ended up not being Het Scaleless, which made me really sad because her babies were really cool. She's got a really funky head stamp, and she looks weird. She looks like she has other stuff going on with her, but I don't really know what it is. She's Het Amel. We proved that out this year. And her normal babies that she hatched are really thick bordered. I got one that I could pass off as a buckskin Okatee if I wanted to, because it's super washed out in the ground zones, kind of like that buckskinny tan color that they get, and then the borders are super thick. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if it came from him or from her, but he gave me some pretty babies too. He's gonna go with let's see. I've got him going with a creamsicle Motley this year. And hopefully I get some Ultramol creamsicle Motleys because he's also Het Anery Motley.
Okay.
And that might be the only thing I have him going with this year. Yep. Nope. He's going with the fluorescent reverse Okatee female. And a creamsicle Motley. I put him with a creamsicle Het Anery Motley last year, and I got no, not Het Anery Motley, just Het Anery. I got Ultramol creams, Ultramol fudgesicles, which are the Anery Great Plains rat cross, and then some snowsicles.
Nice.
So scaleless creamsicles has been something that I've wanted to make for years now, and it's just taking me forever to get there.
It's kind of fun because it's also taking it back to home, right? Like the scaleless into it because he's got Emery in him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Trying to get Eric in trouble.
Well, I mean.
And then I've got some stuff that I don't have pictures of. I've got an Ultramol Anery Het Lavender going to a Ghost Lavender.
Ooh, I like that.
Both of those are adults that came from Ian this past year. I've got a lot of palmettos. I'm going to have palmettos coming out of my ears this year. So if y'all want palmettos, please let me know. I have a couple of secret projects that I'm working on that I'm super excited about. One of them we briefly discussed in the chat the other day, that it would, like, all the stars and planets would have to perfectly align for me to get what I want to get from this pairing. But we're hopeful. Hopefully I'll have some ghost or some snow palmettos this year. I've got kind of a project pairing, a normal Het Palmetto Sunkissed Hypo Anery going to an Anery Tessera Het Scaleless Sunkissed Redcoat Hypo Pied.
Jesus.
Wow.
I've got a Sunkissed Het Amel Hypo Caramel Lavender going to a butter het sun-kissed diffused hypo lavender.
That'll be cool.
Okay.
That'll be really cool.
Yes. I'm super excited. So that male in that pairing is what started my professional relationship with Ian. His name is Trouble because Ian commented. I was looking for a male with all of those genetics, and Ian commented a picture of him on the post and was like, something
Nice.
like this. And I'm like, yeah, but you are halfway across the world, so maybe not like that. And then we ended up buying like 30 snakes from him. So,
Nice.
oops.
So is that like a caramel orchid something in there? I don't even know what that's going to look like.
The person I would think to ask would be Eric, because he's probably the one that's closest with all of those genetics. But there'll be a male, caramel, sun-kissed, hypo lavender.
Okay.
We will call those yes.
Yeah. And then I've got.
Oh god, that'd be really cool because so lavender and AML do weird things.
Mm-hmm.
Caramel and lavender would do weird things. Sunkiss just does weird things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm like picturing, closing my eyes, and I'm asking myself, is this just a white snake, or is this just a bunch of once it goes through its onogenic change? Yeah, it's probably really good.
Weird
I'm probably
yellow
gonna
snake.
want to throw myself off a cliff when it comes time to ID the whole clutch, but
Agreed, because lavender with other stuff can be tough.
I'll be leaning on you guys for some emotional support with that one.
I am dumb as rocks, girl. You already know that.
It's all gonna be
And
tricky.
then I've got that weird backwards castagna male. He's going to go to that Okati female. And I've got a Mandarin Tessera that he's going to go to.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I have two just plain reverse Okati females that I don't have plans for. And I might throw him with one of them.
Okay.
After he takes care of the two girls I've got planned for him. But they're your basic run-of-the-mill reverse Okatis. No known hets. Proven adult females. So, I don't know. I might work them into a project, or they might just not get bred because I don't want 800 baby snakes crawling around my house.
Yeah, him with Mandarin anything would be really interesting.
Oh yeah.
If he kept that going. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know if he has any hets or anything, so
That's always
we'll
the wonder
find
with
out.
them, right?
Mm-hmm. But she's a really big female, the Mandarin Tessera. She's big. So hopefully we'll get lots of pretty stuff out of that clutch.
Yeah, I've got in the next like 2-ish years, I'm going to be popping out a lot of Mandarins because all the castagnas I got from Eric are het AML. And then I've got that female that Chris sent me.
Yeah, she's had
She's
Henry.
growing like a weed. Yeah, so there's a lot of castagna coming down the pipe for me once I get everything up to size.
The
Mhm.
update pictures of that female make my tummy hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She is exceptional. That is a fucking awesome snake. And she's like Aztec, right? So it's like even more fun.
Is she?
She's got like
No.
a weird pattern.
Oh, I meant like Aztec proper.
Oh, the whole thing about Aztecs is like we have a name for them, but we don't have a way to prove out how that works.
I think it's a line thing.
I think so too.
Dude, but I bred that female Aztec that Justin has right now, Pinkalicious, and got zero anomalies in the whole clutch to a regular male. So maybe it has to be bred to another Aztec. I don't know.
Well, I've got an Aztec male going to just a motley female this year, so maybe we'll figure something out there.
What if it's like sex linked and it has to be a male that's Aztec, and then we figure that out? That'd be kind of cool.
That's trippy.
It happens in other species.
Yeah.
Like humans.
Yeah, it happens that the two Aztecs I had were the sire was Aztec, and then both of the babies that have any zigzag are both males. So maybe. I mean, that's a
Interesting.
terrible sample size to go by, but yeah.
Or maybe there's like different lines of Aztec, like there are with Pieds,
True.
Right.
and like line A is only compatible with line A.
Hmm.
Man, people, we need to figure it out. We got to get it sorted.
That was always the one that in the Kathy Love's book that stood out to me, was that Anery Aztec that she had. It was like in a tree, and that I remember as a kid seeing that, and that was one of the things that made Aztec stand out to me so much.
They're so cool.
Was that picture, man? I just thought it was the coolest looking thing.
I wish Anery, or not Anery, excuse me. I wish Aztec was like a very easily solvable gene, so we could just have it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, it would be really nice.
Yeah.
Just decide, like, this year I don't want saddles. I want everything to be a weird zigzag.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Like
not Tessera.
The false
Right.
shatter.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But then if it worked like that, then you could put it into Shatter, then you could put it into Tessera, then you could put it into other things and really see what it did. You could put it into Sunkiss and be like, all right, well, here's a Sunkiss Aztec. Here's what Sunkiss, which screws up.
Slap some Cinder in there.
Yeah, exactly. And Sunkiss screws up every other gene, right? Like it compounds so many things.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun to watch.
Sunkissed Cinder Tessera Aztec.
Yeah. We'll call it a Schitzel.
We'll call it the Mayan calendar.
There we go.
It's just going to be the end of everything else.
Just call it 2012 and go for it.
Let's go, baby.
My child is having a meltdown.
Oh, I thought that was Chris.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Was that it for what you had there, Liz?
Yeah, that about sums it up. There's some other non-impressive things that might happen. I've got a Butter Motley Het Cinder female that I'm not sure what I want to pair to.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I was kind of slacking with the pictures. I tried to take some pictures yesterday, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I've figured one thing out about myself. If I'm not in the mood to take pictures, I just have to not take pictures, because then I start yelling at snakes, and it's not a good scene.
Yeah, you really do have to be in, like, you have to have the energy to do it, because...
Yeah, you got to be in the right headspace.
Yeah, it is exhausting, especially with colubrids.
Put the glove on, grab it out the tub, snap the picture under the light, throw that motherfucker back in. Let's go, baby.
I'm so picky with my pictures, though. I can't make myself do that.
That's why I have 35,000 pictures on my phone and maybe 10 on my Instagram.
Yeah, most of my pictures are just going to the chat group anyway, and so they all have my hand in them.
I mean, look at that. Joe's over here raw dogging it without a glove.
Imagine having not allergies.
Yeah, I think Aspen's one of the few things that I'm not contact allergic to.
I don't know what I'm allergic to anymore.
Everything.
Just go with everything. And,
Life.
Yeah.
I think, it's more of what you're not isn't going to cause you to have problems.
Yeah, just know that when we look at Daytona, the hives you get are not because you're allergic, it's because you're excited.
Exactly. It's got to go scrub down with like sandpaper. I'm just like, it's going to be okay, Chris.
Oh,
It's only because you had fun. You had fun tonight.
that sounds awful.
This
All
is your pair there, Rosa?
Yeah, these are the ones that I haven't been able to get. I haven't gotten them to go yet. So on the left, that's my male Pendleton, and he's a pretty low expression pied. I got him from, let's say, okay, so Earl, can't remember his snake company's name. He's out of Idaho. I met him at Sacramento Reptile Show, where he was vending with his nephew, who's the guy that runs Evergreen State Reptiles, hognose guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I got that in Sacramento a few years ago, and he is great. He's one of the best snakes I have. I picked him because he had the most white washed out on his head. Completely white nose. And
I love that nose.
I love that nose. That's so
he's
cute.
so good.
Should have called him Scarface.
And and then the female over on the right, that's Bill. And she's from, he's not super local to me, maybe an hour away. He's from this guy Armando out here, who normally he does like Dry Marcon and Mexican Black Kings, and he's got some of these corns, and whenever he does breed his corns, this is the one that looks shittier. Like, this is the one that's not a holdback.
Yeah. And that's
This
like
makes
old
her-
school, like high pied.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, she's
Like
great.
classic high pied.
Oh, you know what? I know who you're talking about. He's got super cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like some of his, I think he's got, I want to say leucistic Mexican Black Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember off the top of my head, but his corns are incredible.
They're Mexican White Kings.
Yeah, exactly. And so they should both be het anery. So hopefully I'll get some granites out of it too. But really, I'm just hoping I get a lot more. I want to wash that head out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's great. She's got very little pattern.
Is she hypo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I wish I could get a good picture of her face, because she's still got a little bit of the markings where her head stamp would be, but they're just sort of washed out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's great. I just need her to go and to not be a male.
Yeah.
That usually helps. That makes a difference.
I've got a backup that looks a lot like the guy on the right. No, her head's not washed out at all. But I've got her in reserve. I'll probably try them both, honestly. But yeah, still a few too many babies left over. Yeah, and I normally don't really go for anery. I've been charcoal since I was a kid.
Charcoal's gangster.
And so, but I've got my pewter group, and so I'm pretty set with that.
I would like more pewter. I have the female from Chris, and then I have the pair that I could produce them at some point. But
cool. Do you want 6 hets? I'll send them to you.
I'll trade you six het pied hypos.
So yeah, that's the. I gotta take it easy this year because I've still got, dude, some of the feeders from last year. That was the pewter to fire clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them held out long enough. They starved. I got one of them to go force feeding a little bit, assist feeding, but that's fucking force feeding.
Yeah.
And right now I've got 4 that are eating perfect on live, and 4 that are drop fed frozen thawed, and they're great. But just because I'm still struggling with them, I don't want to do 3 or 4 clutches this year. And my Ladies Island female I don't think she's big enough to go this year. So I'm happy to give her another year to bulk up and get a little bit older.
Yeah.
Because she's from the 2021 clutch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just taking it easy this year because there are too many, all of you guys have things that I want.
Isn't that tough, right?
And then I have projects that I got from Chris last year. I've got the Ladies Islands that are going to go next year. I'm sure I've got other things that I need to add, but then I haven't even seen Chris's yet, and I already know there's going to be 4 snakes out of there I want. Liz is going to do a bunch of stuff that I want. Smitty's got 2 that I want in there right away. Yeah.
Reverse Okities, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly real quick.
What happened?
Oh, that was interesting.
I don't know. Chris's thing does that periodically.
Let's not blame Chris. Right?
No, but now you're right next to me where you belong.
I could just...
Good. I didn't want to be neighbors with him anyways.
How do we... Oh, let's touch right here.
Wait.
All right.
Oh, which direction am I going?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right. So there's a couple things we can...
Let's make some room here real quick for Mr. Overachiever.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you 2 pairs that are like a guaranteed thing, right? And then I have to pick 4 pairs. I'm limiting myself to 4 pairings of corns this year. Now
Can
5.
I go ahead and pick them out for you?
4 total or 4 initial?
4 total pairs of corns.
Okay, so you have your 2 for sure pairs, and we're picking.
Oh,
2
no.
more?
Two for sure pairs that are cohab. And then we're going to pick 4 new pairings.
Okay.
Let's
and
go
I have
ahead
my-
and make this real simple.
Okay, well, we can zoom in.
We'll move this one.
I'm
up
seeing
here.
a lot of blue.
Yeah, that's the gloves. Well, here, Justin, let's pull out the pairings that I showed you. the ones that we know. So I do cohab a couple pairs. I did not brewmate them this year. It's kind of if they go, they go. They're big enough. They eat great. I would love to see them go, but I'm not just like it's not my main thing. My goal is to be able to cohab these animals for the rest of their lives and them to be happy. So where's this Captain Dickhead? Okay, all right, yeah, that's me. Just you know. Well, here let's look at the locality animals real quick.
I was gonna start. I was gonna start high and work our way down.
Okay, so we'll start with those. Okay, so this pair, Elizabeth actually helped me procure this year. They just came out of brumation.
I was about to say, hey, those look familiar.
That's a really pretty female castagna. We don't know any hets, and then a very pretty male diffused castagna. And he's or is it the female that's diffused? No, the male's diffused. Anyways, the male is a blood red castagna, and the female is a just beautiful stock standard castagna. So I'm going to produce castagnas this year. That's my goal. I want to see what they look like as babies. I want to raise the babies up.
What's your angle here, Pain Shab?
Make castagnas, send the extras to Justin.
Oh, okay.
Agreed.
I'm good with that.
I do believe that I am correct. He is the castagna diffused, right? So super cool. We love blood red in this house. Why would I not do this pair? These are both two stellar animals. They look better in person. Elizabeth has seen them.
They do. Well, I haven't seen him out of shed.
Yeah, he was in shed. Yeah,
I was pretty upset about that.
But they're great. So they're out of brumation. They're gonna get first meals on Saturday. So yeah, I mean, I can't think of a reason to not pair those two. I would love to find out that she's het diffused. I don't know if that's the case. I'd love to find out there's a het that I don't know about in there. But we'll kind of investigate them together. She has a much better color than him, but I think that's the diffuse that makes that happen. She's a little bit on the smaller side, but she's purchased as proven. So excited. Also always excited when I buy snakes and they pass their crypto tests and go into brumation and get to come into the collection a couple months afterwards. So good. That's good, right? Like make castagnas, send to Justin, don't have to sell, we're good.
He's pretty. He just looked like a turd when he was here because he was all bleh.
He's really, really, really washed out. Okay, let's do the locality stuff real quick, Justin. So I can explain those. So there's the picture with two snakes. So these are buckskin Okatee outcrosses from Tony Dungara. I actually got these snakes from Jake. They are cohabbed.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they are beautiful. And the female's a little prettier than the male, but that's okay. And then this other snake they're actually 4 years old now. And these are North Carolina, Cleveland County Foothills Corns. And those are from Chris Montross. And they are also beautiful. And I'm hoping they go this year. Where they're at in the room, they experience a little bit of a natural cooling. So excited to hopefully produce a clutch of those. I have a lot of friends that are interested. I only took a picture of one. They're almost identical snakes, which is like I have literally no idea which one's the male and which one's the female. A lot of snakes I can kind of spot the differences. These two are just stock standard, beautiful, similar. But God, look at that animal. That's tough to beat.
I'm gonna need a pair of those.
What's that?
I'm gonna need a pair of those.
Yeah, I got you. They're really, really small. They're like extremely small, stocky snakes, which is really cool. And they come out tiny. The babies I got from Chris, I think they had shed a couple times and are already feeding. The babies are tiny, tiny. So it's kind of a neat locality. And yeah, happy to. I'll definitely get you a pair if they go right. Like they've got to go. Mm-hmm. And this is actually they're going to be my display snakes. I'm going to be using one of my BlackBox cages that I got purchased this year. Excited to put them on display for kind of the world to see. They're going to be one of my. I'm going to be doing a handful of display animals, and they're going to have a really neat setup. And gosh, I cannot express enough how beautiful those animals are in person. Chris Montross.
What needs to go into that Cleveland stuff?
What's that? Castagna?
Caramel Miami.
Caramel Miami would be really cool into that. I think the softer orange, that kind of very copperish color, with the kind of already Miami background gray. The other thing is, it's hard to see in pictures, and if you zoom in, you can kind of see it under their scales. They kind of have that bear eye look to them. There's a lot of orange in there, right?
Like, I was going to say it's sort of like a mahogany that comes out with them.
It's weird,
like an orangey brown, yeah.
Yeah, especially, and obviously not like the best picture, but they just, gosh, they have a lot of saturation under the scales. So excited to work with that locality. You know, first thing we're going to do with them is just kind of make more, which is the goal. They're neat. They're pretty.
They're very
it does need Castagna though.
Yeah, I think it'd look great with Castagna. Let's see here. So there's kind of another pairing in here. So the first pairing is going to be the Castagna, right? The next pairing that's kind of like guaranteed is going to be my stuff from JT, which will be that girl right there. Her name, oh man, I just like farted on her name, is Prescott, and then the boy's name is Loomis, and that's Sydney Prescott and Billy Loomis from Scream. The boy is right there, Justin. You just missed it. And he
I know where I'm going.
So these are both children of Hannibal. Last year, I kind of beat the odds, and this girl produced me I'm going to say it all at once, caramel, sun-kissed, cinder, diffused mask. So my hope is to take this pair and produce the exact same thing plus tessera. So hopefully the goal here is a caramel diffused, because they're both het diffused. They're both het cinder. So it would be a caramel, sun-kissed, diffused, cinder, mask, tessera. There we go. We did it.
Chris.
So that would be really cool. Dude, that female is so badass. Prescott's such an amazing snake. And then he's also stunning. You know, this is a similar, I think they're probably clutch mates, the one that Justin has.
Yeah.
But, she proved out all those hets, and he has all the same hets because he's a son of Hannibal. So.
I named mine Jigsaw, so it kind of falls into that same, like, serial killer thing.
I think I'd be a little silly if I didn't do that pairing right there. I'm getting 100% honey, 50% tessera, and then all the hets. So hopefully we get some shatter tesseras in there. Hopefully we get some diffused in there. That snake that I produced that I sent to Alex Horvath, is turning out to be a stunning animal. I actually sent him the whole clutch, with the exception of a pair that I held back. I held back a pair of honeys that looked the most like her when they were babies. So,
she is stellar.
Dude, she's perfect.
I love how dark she is.
Yeah. Oh man, and like her yellow is just in the right spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you get a lot of that Hannibal influence in her. And then obviously there's mask going on. Like you can see the mask in her. Excited for that pairing. Excited to see what it does. Hopefully it kind of keeps up the lineage and does good things. But then from there, I'm a little confused, right? So last year I know I produced too many snakes, right?
Okay.
So and I know that because I've got a lot of them left. I have my boy, the kind of golden child, and that's going to be my Anery stripe, het ultra. Haven't proved him out with any other hets, and that's kind of my yellow head project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this year I was able to produce with his sister a pair of Ultramel stripe Aneries that have that very saturated yellow, or like out of the egg they had yellow. And his sister is in this group also. She's that one right there, just not that one, the one to the left. To the left. The more lefter, not that one. That one. And so this pairing produced some of the coolest snakes I've seen. I actually have 2.2 left. And you can kind of see some of the yellowing in her head. This is kind of a bad picture of her, but dude, the yellow on her body is just wild. Nothing looks like him. I have yet to produce a snake that like really looks like him, but I need to kind of narrow it down and hopefully lock that in. That pairing made awesome stuff last year, but I don't know if I want to repeat it. It would be a good idea too, right? Like you can see the yellow in her neck, right? Just in that little side kind of profile, but that's probably top of the pairings I'm gonna do. I don't know. What do y'all? Well, let's look at some of the other stuff.
Did you send me a baby from these? Anery stripe?
If I sent you an Anery stripe, it's either from them or from him to his mom.
Okay.
If I wrote yellowhead on it, it would have been from this pair.
I think it's from this pair. I'd have to look at the notes, but gorgeous baby.
So the goal is for that baby to end up looking like him, right?
Right.
And we don't know because the stripes go through such a massive onogenic change.
Right.
That I just don't know, right?
They're still pretty distinct right now on mine.
Yeah.
There's like a million pictures.
Yeah, I probably I didn't even take pictures of probably 6 or 7 adults that I'm just giving the year off anyways.
I didn't realize you had that many.
You know, when you've got a problem. But my thing is I'm constantly giving animals time off. So here's another male. So the 2 males Justin is enlarging right now. The upper right, that's Mac. He is an ultra male, Motley Tessera, het Anery, and I believe he is buff. I really want to give him the year off because if you look at him last year, he didn't feed very well because he was a little bit of a powerhouse. I'm pretty sure he's buff. That's the dad to that Anery you have, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
He came from Don Soderbergh. I actually purchased him from a friend that had purchased it from Don Soderbergh. And I think this is the crutch to a lot of my yellowhead stuff because I think a lot of my yellowhead stuff is buff. He's the father to the yellowhead male stripe because he's het stripe, het Motley. And he is the grandfather to that female. I believe he's buff. I can't say that with utmost confidence. He's also a very old snake. I'm guessing at this point he is close to 15 years old. He was an adult with tenure when I got him about 8 years ago. So he's put his work, and if you notice, he's pretty thin. Last year he went off feed pretty hard, and I'd like to see him just get comfortable and eat real good again this year. And even if he doesn't breed again, I'd like him to be a part of my collection. He's probably one of the coolest snakes I've ever had. He's the one one of the couple that I take out when kids are here. He's a great animal, but he's probably going to be put on the bench this year. Another snake that's probably going to be put on the bench is Mr. Gray, who is the if you zoom up in the male section, that is a Tessera charcoal het blood red. I have paired him with some other stuff to try to prove out if he's anything else, and I cannot. He's great. He's a sweetheart, but I've produced pewters 2 years in a row with him and charcoals 4 years in a row with him, and I've been very happy with everything he's produced. But I don't know if I really have something I want to pair him with this year. He's going sideways. Pretty snake, great snake. Love him in my collection, but I don't know if I'm going to breed him this year. Justin, what are we doing?
And now I'm just I'm getting the whole effect.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's cool, man. I mean, charcoal Tessera, like, hard to beat. No yellow on him at all.
I have his kids.
Yeah, you have kids from him. Joe, I think you have kids from him.
I've got a baby from him.
Oh yeah, you got that Tessera pewter, right? Or you got the pewter or something? Yeah. So let's bench him.
Because he sired that Tessera blood red that I have from you, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. And that charcoal Tessera that's het diffused.
Correct. Yeah. Anything charcoal from me would be from him.
Okay.
So let's bench him. I think he's riding the bench this year.
Riding the pine.
But there's a very specific zombie motley male in here that I want to talk about and the possible females.
Oh, dude, this snake.
He's fucking.
I have
perfect.
that baby that I got at Daytona from Alan.
Yeah.
That JT produced, and
Yeah.
like I'm so freaking excited for that snake to get to breedable size because I don't even know what I'm going to do with it, but I love the look of these freaking snakes, man.
Dude, they're so perfect. So the female that goes with him is about the same size. She could breed this year. She's definitely the size. I don't want to. I didn't cool her. I didn't even send you a picture of her. But he is so he's a zombie motley Carol Huddleston line, het cinder, and the female is visual cinder, and she's stunning too. But dude, that's like, I mean, that is such a hard look to beat, right?
I love that saddle washout.
Yeah. Oh man, he's so cool. He looks so much like his dad, Captain Spaulding. Just, dude, he's perfect. And I want to produce something with him this year. So if we zoom out and go look at females, I have kind of two things I was looking at pairing him with.
And he's het cinder. Anything else?
Yeah. So he's the zombie motley, just kind of lineage. So he's visual motley, nothing else, just kind of Miami, plus whatever's going on with the zombie motleys, and then just only het cinder that we know of. So over here, female wise, I have two females. One would be the Amel motley that I produced. So last year I paired this Amel motley to Mac. And she produced some. What I was looking for, I wanted a male ultra male motley with the exact look of her, and I produced two, and I kept both of them back. She proved out she's not het. She is not het. What you call it, anery, which is cool. I kind of wanted to make sure. And she produced that really weird stripe that I sent to Alex Horvath.
Do that pair again. I don't care what it is. Do that.
Well, I really want to give Mac the year off.
That cube stripe looking thing.
That really weird, like trident stripe female that I produced, which is weird because her as a visual motley and him as a visual motley should not have produced stripes, and they definitely produced a stripe. One stripe, everything else is motley.
That snake is my favorite snake that is not in my collection right now.
She's really special, and I'm really glad that Alex got her. It was kind of one of my friends got her, or I kept her, which I was fine keeping her. But I kind of told y'all all, whoever grabs the snake first, just have her. But I think it would be really, really cool to take Zombie Motley and put it into an Amel Motley, so I can kind of pick through those babies and see which one kind of looks the coolest. Now, the other female would be that Ultramel Tessera female, who is Het Motley stripe. So I want to get that Miami influence into one of these two animals.
Ultramel.
Yeah, right. Into the Ultramel is tough. So here's the deal on that Ultramel. She's 7 or 8 years old. I think she's 7 years old. And she's special to me, and I've never bred her because that's the first snake I ever hatched. So I just don't want to break her. So that's been a problem. But man, that would be such a perfect pairing. So I have this like Miami influence het cinder. So any het cinders are going to look just killer. She's Ultramel, so I can have all of that going on. She's Tessera, so I can have that going on as well. So I can get visual Motley Tessera het cinders that are going to have that zombie influence. So it's like tough.
I'd be tempted to double down on the Motley.
I vote Motley too. That thing's gorgeous. Looks like an old school Sunglow.
Dude, she is. I produced 2 Ultramel Motleys that look just like her, and they're boys, and I'm raising them up because I can't wait to take an Ultramel Motley that looks like her and just get nothing but Motleys that look like that. Because that Motley look to me is my absolute favorite.
She's pretty. She's nice.
She's cool. And she's also a super chill snake. Fuego, who is this Ultramel Tessera, she's something else, man. And I think she may have the buff gene also. There's a little bit of that. And, also when you take him and put him to Ultramel, you've got the whole thing. I don't know what those babies are going to be. They're going to have Ultra, have Amel. I can't guarantee it. And then you got the Tessera thrown there. I don't know if I want to put the Tessera in there. There's a world where I just don't breed her at all because I don't need to. She's kind of that pet snake. You can kind of see the girth of her. She's never been bred. she's a chubby girl. But she's real pretty. But man, yeah, I think that if I take that zombie motley and then I put it into the AML motley, I have a real good chance of producing some het cinders that kind of carry over that zombie look and that are now het AML. So what does AML look when you put it into the zombie line? Right. We make kind of a candy cane motley, but with that washed out pepper. God damn it! You sure it's not candy cane? No, peppermint's the other one. Peppermint snow. Candy cane. I think, I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
Dustin Black asked, "What if both of them are double het motley and stripe? Wouldn't they be visual motleys, but technically double hets?"
Yes. So let me read that again because my brain is okay. What if both of them are double het motley and stripe? Wouldn't they be visual motleys, but technically double hets? So yeah, we did a whole show on the motley and stripe conundrum. So if they're both visual motley, that does leave them the chance that they are het stripe as well. So they could be, again, double allelic. Motley stripe is usually visual motley until you take a motley and pair it to a motley and somehow get a stripe. Unless she is het stripe, but if that's the case, then how do I produce 14 eggs with 13 motleys and one stripe? But then again, odds are not in your favor, right? Like this is randomization. This is a percentage chance per egg, not a percentage chance per clutch. It's not how it works. We know that the motley line, the zombie line doesn't have any stripe in it. Right. It's been crossbred and bred out, and there's no stripe at all in it. So if he was 100% motley and she is motley het stripe, we would get 100% visual motleys, kind of, right? But with a small percentage of het stripe, which is kind of falls in the sense of, well, if I'm breeding two motleys together and I get a stripe, I'm only happier maybe. But yeah, so what do y'all think? Let me get some feedback from y'all.
Motley.
Yeah, I think we do that. I think we see what the AML gene does in that zombie line. I think I can refine this over 6 years to try and push for the most zombie looking snakes. I took a lot of pictures of the zombies when I got them as hatchlings, so I have a good idea of what that kind of zombie look is. So if I produce anything that kind of looks along those lines, I'd hold them back, refine it in. And try to head AMLs. It's also like let's also look at this at like a financial standpoint, right? Like there's a little bit of that in this hobby as well. I'm making a bunch of motley head AMLs, not always pos het cinders, but I think het cinders is going to be a little bit more visual. I really hope that I can produce a snake that looks like him with het cinder that has het AML that I could then pair back together as a pair and make kind of zombie AMLs. I think that'd be really zombie motley AMLs, right? Like pepper cane zombie motleys would be really
Pepperidge Farm.
They remember. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Gosh, and I mean, just look at those two motleys. Like that is so hard to beat what those animals look like.
Can you imagine his coloring on her pattern with that just sort of melting, but also fading like his saddles do? It'd be beautiful.
I know. And then like subtract a little bit of that yellow saturation just because you're going to through the Miami influence and that het cinder.
Wash out the face.
Oh my gosh! Like make the gray white, and then we're there. We did it. So let's do that. I think that's a fun pair. I think we can add that to the. Might as well, right?
Yep, I like it.
Okay, so let's look at the females for a little bit. Oh, well, let's go to the last male. There's one male left. So this last male is, and again, these are only the animals that I looked at breeding this year that I didn't feed heavy through the winter. All of these either brumated or fed light. I'm giving a lot of corn snakes the year off, just because I don't know if I have definition on the projects and kind of trying to narrow it down a little more. So this male was produced by a friend, and this is a JMG Coral Snow Strawberry. So this boy is really hard to take pictures of, but he's visual strawberry. Last year I paired him to, you can see this Tessera girl up here. So this is a Tessera JMG line, super, gosh, is it coral or is it salmon? Super salmon snow. I got this from our buddy Jeff, this girl, and I produced some of the absolute most dipshit pink snakes I've ever seen out of the egg. If you look at her, she's so pink, she's green, to the point to where my camera only picks up the green on her. So I did that pairing last year, and I really liked it. Of all things, this pairing, look at the green on that animal, right?
Yeah, dude. Remember the video you took of her? The video he took was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I really like this pairing. I really like the babies I got out of it. But there's a little bit of me that doesn't want to do it again, and that's just because I have to say no to something, and I'm not going to go back on the pairs we just talked about and say no to them, right? So that's a pairing I did last year. Super happy with the results. Sold super well, but I don't see a situation where they carry any projects further, right? Not that that's a bad thing or a good thing, but just in the world of projects, there is another female I'm thinking about pairing him to. So if we get rid of that female,
so that pair is basically a cul-de-sac right now. Like
we know what they do, right? Like they produce amazing snakes. I could produce that clutch every year. This year I'm trying to reduce the amount that I produce. I could do that pairing any year. They're two beautiful, young, healthy snakes. So there's a ghost paradox right there. So this girl I haven't bred in a few years. She actually is cohabbed with she lives with the fluorescent that I'm going to be sending to Liz. They've been together for a long time. I don't even remember. I think I like stuck them together because they were like the same size or something,
BFFs.
right? And I was and I like left them together, and then now there's just two super chill snakes. So this is a ghost paradox that was produced by Joe Phelan, supposedly het strawberry, but I don't think it is het strawberry. And the reason I say that is because you usually do not get het strawberries with hypos, because you get hypoberries. She is het AML. I proved that out a few years ago. She doesn't have any motley stripes, sun-kissed. I've paired her with that. So I believe she is just a flat standard ghost. What you call it, ghost head AML, which is fine. She doesn't have any pink to her, which is okay, but she is paradox, which is like super neat. I have not produced another paradox. You can kind of see that cool red on her neck. But pairing these two together, I would get a clutch of hypoberries, which is kind of neat, right? I would get a 100% anery, hypoberry, 50% AML, and it's kind of just like this is would be a new pairing for me, but it's also kind of a placeholder clutch, right? Like at the same time, do I need to try to pair that? Is that furthering a project?
It's more experimenting just to see what you're going to get.
Right? Like what else comes out of it? There's a potential of him being het motley, but I won't be able to prove that out with her. So
I don't know. I'm not crazy about the berry stuff, honestly. Like it's never
the hypoberry.
Like that and the strawberry. It's never.
I got a bunch of hypoberry stuff from Ian last year, and I didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
It's kind of it's almost a little off-putting because it doesn't have that really neat ghost brownish gray look to it, and it doesn't have the actual saturation that a real visual strawberry has, right? Like this boy as a visual strawberry is amazing, right? Like like if you see a snake in person, it blows everybody's mind because his pink is really dedicated to the saddles, right? He doesn't have a lot of pink on his body. He does from the one copy of Red Factor, but he doesn't have pink like the Super Salmon Snow Girl that we were just talking about. His pink is more concentrated, which is neat and at the same time different, so kind of cool. But the only thing I can get here is hypoberries, right? I can't get visual strawberry because that's not how strawberry works. Strawberry and hypo don't work together. So that we can call that a placeholder because I don't really know, right? Like that's not a pairing I need to do. I think it makes cool babies, right? Like he may be het hypo. No, he can't be because he's strawberry, so he can't be het hypo. So kind of interesting. But if we go back, let's look at the females again, and we'll start talking about some other possible pairings. I don't mean to make this super complicated for you, Justin.
Yes, you do.
Did you see how simple mine was? It was just 2 pictures and we were done.
Well, the draft is supposed to help me make decisions. So here, go down to the snake below this. That one right there. Zoom in on that. So this girl, and I just want to talk about her real quick. She's not going to be breeding this year. She's a little small. This is the caramel cinder that JT produced that he sent to me, and I just want everybody to be jealous about how cool that snake is. That was why I took a picture, and I produced caramel cinders last year, and she's just really cool. Kind of looks like an emery eye.
Okay, see, JT was mentioning something about that the other day. I was talking about how I don't like caramel cinder, and then apparently all the ones I've seen before have just been dog shit because I like that one.
Yeah. So caramel cinder has a very anery look, but it has this really interesting blushing that happens in the saddles, and it also kind of blows out the borders. But for some reason, being het sun-kissed, or maybe it is the het sun-kissed. Look at the oddness of the pattern, right? Like that's not a corn snake pattern. It doesn't even look like an emery eye pattern. It's like an emery eye with a weird thing going on.
It's like zigzags instead of
sun-kissed.
It's very sun-kissed, and without visual sun-kissed, right? Because if it was sun-kissed, it'd be shatter. But maybe that's the het sun-kissed kind of coming through on her. She could be breeding this year. She's big enough. She's a very voracious eater. If she was pairing to anything, she'd be pairing to that honey tessera, because she's also het diffused, het sun-kissed. Yeah, those two things. Also, mask could be at play with her, right? I don't know, right? Like there's a good chance of her also being masked. But what a cool snake! And I kind of wanted to just show her off a little bit because there's the potential for her to breed in there, but I don't know. Okay, let's look at this girl. So this girl is a powerhouse. This is Carrie. Carrie is an absolute psychopath. Carrie produced some of the best looking snakes I've ever had. She is a very beautiful snake, but at the same time also kind of a boring anery. She's got a lot of that yellow. If you notice the yellow head, she produced.
That's what gets me excited is the yellow on him and the yellow on her.
She produced a lot of the stuff that I had last year with her son. Her son is the yellowhead male, right? Like, so her son is the stripe yellowhead boy. So she's het amel, het stripe, het hypo, het amel, stripe, hypo, sun-kissed. She's also a het sun-kissed. Well, she's pos het sun-kissed because I've never proved it out, but she was sold as a het sun-kissed. So she kind of floats around. She's been an all-star breeder. She's actually bred for me every year. And this is the only snake that I have that I absolutely, without question, have to open the tub with a hook. Because she will murder you. She will murder you in your hands. She will murder you if you look at her. She has produced a lot of the demons that y'all have. Justin, this is the mother to that snake that you have, that anery boy that's kind of funky. She's cool. She's real cool. There's a world that I pair her to this boy because then I'll get some hypoberries. I'll get some red factor in there. The thing that kind of bums me out on that is I don't do anything with the sun-kissed or the stripe, right? She's gorgeous. Her face, her nose, the yellow on her nose and the little speckles of yellow through her head are kind of spectacular. Again, this is an older snake. This snake produced. She bred my first year breeding, so she's been breeding for me not for 7 years straight, but she bred 7 years ago for me. But I mean, look at that! What a great anery, right? Like just for being an anery.
Yellow up on her face.
Yeah. So her and that boy, Mac, are kind of headlined the Yellowhead project, and I've kind of refined it. Now I could breed her to this boy, or I could breed her back to her son again, which last year produced some. I mean, you all saw the ultra male Yellowhead stuff that I hatched out. Her son and her kind of match up genes a little better, but I kind of like this pairing also, right? Like now I get the red factor in there. Now I get the snows. Now I get the hypoberries out of it. So I don't know. And y'all.
This one interests me more than the paradox one.
Yeah, of the females that we've looked at for him, I think she's my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's a good pair. The yellow's coming up real high on him. She's got a lot of yellow, and I'm pretty sure so would my ultramel yellowhead dickhead be from her? Because that
I would have
snake's
to
an
look
asshole.
at the number.
I have to show you the cup. Never mind. But
yeah,
this,
but there's a very good chance, yes. If he's a psychopath, it's probably from her.
yeah.
Did she produce the Snowtramels?
Snowtramels were all produced by her to her son. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So last year, yeah, you're right, Joe. She bred to her son, so that would make sense.
Okay.
If you had the, and now is it
Those
Ultramel? Is it Tessera?
Mm,
The Tessera
No, I
should
don't-
not be from her.
no, the Tessera I've got. No, I got a Motley Snow.
Okay.
I got a Tessera. No, I think she's just he's an Ultramel baby, and it just makes sense because it's an absolute bastard of a snake.
That would make sense. That would be her paired to her son.
But those two together would make some really pretty babies.
Yeah. So the kind of options would be pairing her to him or pairing her back to her son again, which gave me an all-star clutch. I kind of like this because then I will produce hypoberries, right? Or I should, right? Like per the stock standard. For the math, there's hypoberries there.
Thank you, Heretic.
Heretic reptiles. We talk about like the Horus Heresy. We can start talking about Warhammer. Like, what kind of a heretic are we? You know what I mean? We can
Halo?
talk Warhammer right now. Yeah, I kind of like that pairing. So that puts me at 4, right, Justin?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's probably like that's kind of where I would want to be. Well, there's still
what
a
about the
female.
computer girl?
I was about to say, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing I could do, because I got to stay at 4. I take the pewter, right? Who is a beautiful pewter, right? Like she produced any of the pewter babies that y'all got. That is a gangster snake, right? And then I take her and I pair her to the blood red castagna.
Do that.
Oh, I'm
that.
I'm on board with that.
So I would make blood red het castagna het charcoal.
Okay.
I
Which
support this
is-
decision.
So he wouldn't breed this year, and we would go her to that same male, making blood red het charcoal het castagna.
Yeah, do that. Because when we were running through your females for this pink snake, you know, all the options there were kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, that would make some cool stuff. But
Yeah.
as soon as you said, hey, let's put this pewter with the castagna, all of us are like, yep, do it.
Right. And so
Pewter,
like
everything.
the obvious choice would be to take the strawberry snow red factor male and pair him to the super red factor Tessera snow female and get that same clutch, right? Like there's no reason to not do that exact same pairing.
Mhm.
But I need to limit my pairings. So I think it would be exciting to do more blood reds because, like, blood reds are just dope. And get charcoal in the mix with castagna because I'm sure Eric Westmoreland will be producing them before me, but I have never seen a charcoal castagna, much less a blood red charcoal castagna.
Mhm.
So
Do it.
that's kind of a fun
I don't know where
possibility.
those pictures went.
Yeah. Then we can trade weird pewter projects in a few years.
Yeah, and I really like pewter. And like there's like a world where I don't do that, and I grab Mr. Gray and I pair him to her again, which last year was their first time breeding because I had to raise her up. Because I've always paired Mr. Gray to my blood red pied het charcoal female, which Justin has, who he's pairing to a pied blood red male, which I really want to get pieds. So I have a lot of het pied stuff. But I've never produced visual pieds. But I'm like way out on producing visual pieds. At least 2 years to produce visual pieds. But taking a charcoal blood red to a castagna blood red, I don't know for sure what that looks like. And I think that's kind of a cool.
Dude, even the het baby, the babies this round are going to look fantastic.
Yeah, they're going to be great blood reds, right? Like we
Yeah.
just know they're going to be good looking. Well, diffused, right? But they're going to be really good light diffused.
Yeah, I
And
like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
she's
Eric's
so
in the
washed
chat.
out.
oh, Eric's in
Hi,
chat.
Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Tanya does need to be in everything. Look at that.
So my goal this year would be I'll produce Castañas because it'd be my first time producing Castañas, which I kind of cheated and bought adults, which I highly suggest nobody buy adults. And then I'm just gonna send them all to Justin because they're all het blood red.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get visuals. I don't know, but this also helps prove out maybe some of the hets that are in these animals. She's never been paired to anything other than a charcoal het blood red tessera. But God, Joe, you saw some of the babies I made last year. You've got one, and I've held back a couple. One thing that does suck on that pair is I produced the most insane, I mean the absolute most batshit crazy tessera pewter that I've ever seen. Remember the crazy pattern that little tiny one had, and she just came out so tiny, and she ended up not making it. She had a couple meals, but she would regurgitate usually because she was tiny, and she became Eastern king snake food. But man, I wish that snake would have made it because she was like an instant holdback. Dude, that thing hatched and her like whole head was kind of like had that weird diffused removed pattern on the head. And but I think this pair right here is just like great, right? Like we don't I don't think we produced anything bad. Yeah. I mean just blood reds, right? Like cool. Like we produced a clutch of stuff that is cool looking but also sells well. We got to always think about that. Like I got to get rid of some of these. But also everybody's going to, in the group's going to probably just get a couple of them.
Yeah.
And she produced a lot. She's a smaller snake, and I think she produced like 16 eggs last year. I got a lot from her.
Nice.
But God, but there's that world where I just go back to that charcoal tessera het blood red male and just do that pairing again because damn, those were good, right?
Do it next year.
Yeah, and I kind of like I always give females time off, but I never give my males time off. And this year I'm really like happy to give some males. So this year I think we'll be all new males with the exception of Joffrey, my yellow-headed male, and also his name is Joffrey because they're all yellow-headed Lannisters and they all are breeding with each other for their selective breeding project. So they're just all fucking their siblings. So that's kind of fun if anybody's a Game of Thrones fan. But yeah, so like I think that's 4 good pairings. Again, the 2 locality pairings are kind of just if they happen, they happen. Super excited if they do produce. Totally okay if they don't. Kind of continuing on my methodology of let's see how they do cohab, right? Because I've had really good luck with them. Here's the other thing: got a lot of extra females. Also have like one of the few in the world reverse stripe male Morums, right? So do we make some root beer corns that potentially have aberrant genes off the bat and kind of make something into the hobby that's never existed?
Yes.
And I don't know, and then what happens if I pair it to like a tessera female? And so, like, we know that root beer corns are root beer corns, and root beer corns are widely accepted in the hobby, but there are no genetically proven aberrant lines out there that you can document. And I've proven that this reverse stripe line, it's been proven over 3 generations already. It paired to a wild caught normal looking snake produces aberrants in the first generation. So if I take one of those males, that's one of probably the best one that's ever been produced. I'm very lucky to have it, and pair it to a female. What does it even do to a corn snake? We don't have reverse stripe corn snakes in the hobby. They don't.
I've wanted aberrant creamsicles for as long as I can remember.
See, he's going to an albino female Emryi this year, and I hope they pair up because now I'll have het albino pure Emryi aberrants, which are reverse stripe. So I have 2 different lines of. Well, here's the other thing: I have 2 different lines of aberrants that I've proven out. So I have my McMullen locality that I proved the gene out last year and produced a bunch of F1s that are every single one of them is aberrant, and that's the Mariposa line, which is butterfly. And then I have the reverse stripe line that Toby Brock perfected, and then John Lassiter took over. And so we could take a reverse stripe and make a root beer out of it, or we could take the Mariposa line and make an aberrant out of it. They're 2 different types of aberrant, and they're 2 definitely different genes. Which, of course, down the line, I'm going to pair those 2 genes together to actually see what happens. But I don't know. So, like, I kind of was thinking about doing a clutch of root beers this year. And if I did that, let's go back to the females real quick, Justin.
Justin's our slave.
Justin, do it now. Okay, so I have this ghost, this paradox ghost female, right? So we can make root beer, het anery, het hypo, pos het amels, right? Or we put her to fuego, the ultramel, het motley, het anery, pos het sunkissed, visual tessera. What happens, Liz? You're the root beer girl.
I don't know.
You immediately go past the 4 clutches you were planning and turn right back into regular style Chris Paint.
Here's another thing.
Well, I've got 3 clutches of Emery already planned. So Emery, I'm doing my reverse stripes. I'm doing my body poster line again because those are just amazing, and I wish the world would get on board with them. And then I'm doing my my group of chocolate albinos, right? Like, so this would be my first year for my chocolate albino Emery eye. And then I've got, so Pitchovis, I've got Vertebralis, Jani, Black Pine, Northern Pines. And then I've got 4 clutches of Alterna, 4 clutches of Leonis.
You have fun with all those Alterna babies.
I do though. I love them. That's why I have a whole freezer full of different odds and ends for them to eat. Maybe that's I don't know what that is. Yeah, I got a little Mediterranean day gecko juice, and we've got a little ground skink, and we've got leopard gecko and cave gecko and gargoyle gecko and brevis and variegatus and mitratus. And
basically, if they're not taking on any of those, they weren't meant to be in the first place.
I am 100% on getting an Alterna. I have yet to have an Alterna die on me that didn't eat. I have had some eat and then die, but I have never had one not eat. It just sometimes took a year.
Yeah, sort of hoping I don't find a male this weekend.
Well, it's got to be a dude. See, the thing is, Joe, your Alterna is special. Yep. It's got to be a 3 mile west of Sanderson if you're doing anything with it. I prefer if you put it to something dark, because that female is dark.
Is that dark night stuff?
I want her to look like a bomb real bad.
Yeah, he's got a Dark Knight baby. So he's got one of the Dark Knight Blair's phase that I produced. But I forgot that you had a Dark Knight Blair's female. Yeah. This year I produced a Dark Knight Blair's male that I didn't know what to do with. And I just got him in. He was a little fucking dirtbag. But he's eating now. So we're gonna keep him going on that. That's Alterna. This is CornStars, right?
Sorry, are you doing the MSPs again?
No. So I do have milk snake phase females that are breeding this year, but I'm giving my pair of milk snake phase the year off. So I have the pair of Highland times Vivid milk snake phase that I bred for 3 years, and this will be their year off. But I have a Vivid milk snake phase female that I'm going to be pairing either into a bloaty pinner orange or into a I forgot the lineage. Something. One of my Dirty Sanchez. What is his lineage? Bobble line. So I have a bobble line male that may be going into her. But that's the thing is, like, those are pinners. Both of those are kind of like real high yellow pinners going into a milk snake phase. I can still produce milk snake phase this year. So, but I've got 2 Vivid line females. One's high orange, kind of typical Leonis. Then I've got a milk snake phase female, but then I've got my bloaty pinner that should be going this year, and then I have my kind of like really awesome Arambi line female that's like kind of looks like a fucking Zelda pixelated demon. She could be going this year also.
How come you have not sent me pictures of these?
I have.
I don't think you have. I would
100%
remembered.
They're all in the other chat, but the one that's on Facebook. DGB Exotics. I have a clutch that you can buy. I'll be producing Castagnas this year, it sounds like. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Again, Justin always says that telling the world what your plans are is a really good way for God to strike you down. I kind of overdid it last year, so this year I'm cutting it back. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the JT thing doesn't happen to me and all my females produce. That scares the shit out of me. But yeah, hopefully I'll have some Castania this year. It'll be a Castania Het Blood Red. As if all the hets, if there's no hets, it'll be a bunch of Castania Het diffused. So that'll be cool.
Cover the world in Castania.
I'm excited to hatch them because I really want to see what they look like out of the egg because I know they kind of look just anery.
Yeah, those will be interesting too. Especially, I mean, it's wild how they just within the first like 2 or 3 sheds, man, that color just really starts to sort of seep in.
Yeah.
I wonder the blood red, the ones that you're going to be doing that are going to be homo diffused, het castani, het charcoal.
Yeah.
Curious about how tiny those babies are going to be and how much of a pain in the ass they're going to be to get feeding. Because aren't Keys corns normally they hatch out pretty small?
Keys corns hatch out small. I've done the blood red charcoals, and they actually hatch out pretty girthy. I don't know if that's the charcoal that does it. I kind of incubate a little lower, so I get a little bit bigger babies.
I did the same this year.
And even my Alterna hatch out big. I don't. The only thing that I had that I'm not breeding this year, I actually don't have the pair anymore. Were my Everglades rats hatch out so goddamn tiny for such big snakes. It was always really weird. Leonis hatch out pretty small. Leonis do come out pretty small, but huge shout out to Lane Labs. I don't think we talk about this much, and I'd like to talk about it a little bit. Lane Labs sells these bags of mice, and I'm going to grab a bag of them.
Blue bag.
They're
in a blue bag.
pinkies.
They have these
a low
micro
price of
pinkies.
$50.
They are extremely expensive. They're extremely expensive, but they sell micro pinkies, and they are the smallest. And Liz, I know that John told you about them, or probably John. They sell the smallest pinkies I have ever seen. Like they look like a piece of fucking turtle food. It's like they extract them from the mothers. I don't know how they get pinkies this small.
I do.
They put a little cup under the mouse while she's having the babies and just catch them straight out.
Is that really what they do?
They're
I don't know.
Basically, when they know that one of the girls is about to pop, they're checking pretty consistently, and those micro pinkies are hours old.
Yeah, because pinkies
are
grow
tiny.
really fast once they start eating. So you have to catch them before they eat a lot. But at the same time, you almost want them to eat a little bit so they have a little bit of nutrients.
Yeah.
But if you're breeding colubrids, especially smaller colubrids, micro pinkies, super small pinkies are definitely a must because giving them a whole prey item versus giving them a head or a tail or a reptile or whatever you're giving them, a whole prey is just so much better, and they will get size on them to eat what they need to be eating a lot faster than if you're giving them bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, last year I bought every breeding season so far, I bought 500 or 600 micro pinkies just right off the rip. Like once I start pairing, and every single snake I have, with the exception of Pitchophis, starts on micro.
Those come out of the egg eating adult mice.
Yeah.
Black pines and northern pines come out real big. They come out real big. But I do micro pinkies. I thaw out the same amount of micro pinkies. I just do it for everybody, and I don't know what it is, but I've had really good luck with them. Will that luck continue? I don't know. Every year it can change, but I don't know. They are very expensive.
I don't know. I mean, bag of 50 is $25. So
I think shipping. Oh, here's the thing with them. It's not a box price.
1 hour old. I'm looking at the website.
I get lucky because they're relatively local to me. So when I go, every show that I go to in California, they're there. I can pick up a few bags.
Dude, and the packaging on their stuff is perfect. Like they are clinical. I would say the actual mice are not expensive. The shipping is expensive because they increase shipping costs per bag that you buy.
Yeah.
But they sell them in bags of 200, I think.
This says counts of 10, 25, 50, 100, 250, 500, or 1,000.
It's the 250. I buy usually, I get 500. It's usually 2 bags of 250.
I wish their
How
quail
many
prices were
rodents
cheaper,
are you
too.
producing that you can sell bags of thousands?
They're big.
A lot.
They're one of those things where you go to a show and you've got the triple L tables where they've got 6 tables in the center. Lane's usually got a good 4 tables or an end cap or something in the center, and there's 5-6 people working for them the whole time.
Isn't a lot of what they produce not just for feeders? Don't they do a lot of actual laboratory grade mice?
I think so.
They do, laboratory grade mice. They do. You can get multicolored mice if your snakes or your birds or something is picky. They sell to falconers and other people. But they're one of the. I get my feeders from 2 people, and it's Lane or my buddy Dean when he's vending a show.
Nice.
Like, I love, he and his wife are fantastic. They're snake breeders and do rodents, but try to go to both of them.
Lisa actually just posted in the chat. She said, I use Lane Labs. They have very clean, fresh product. Excuse me. And then she said they supply zoos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it like if you're breeding any of these really tough to feed, also like the Alterna, and this is I got it from John, right? Like John produces all these ridiculously don't want to eat snakes. He was like, you got to get Lane Labs pinkies. I was like, why? He's like, because they're tiny. They're just tiny. So yeah, something to think about, something to put in your quiver of things. Because man, dude, like I get big cheese rodents, right? Like I'm a full on supporter of big cheese. Liz, I know you are too. And they're small pinkies. I got corn snakes that won't eat them. You know what I mean? Because they're too big. So
yeah, the only problem with those micros, if your power goes out, get the gas station. Get a bag of ice, because when my power went out, and my chest freezer will never be the same, but that was super. Like those micro pinks were not okay.
Yeah, I have ordered, because I was ordering with them. I have ordered other things, and I would say that all of their product is good. But I really usually just get micros from them, and then everything else from Big Cheese.
Big Cheese do quail?
No.
No,
they do chicks. They do chicks, mice, and rats.
Okay.
If they do quail, I missed it. Yeah, I love Big Cheese. God, it's so clean. They don't smell like piss, which Lane Labs doesn't either.
That's one thing I really like about Big Cheese. Their mice are so clean and soft, and they don't smell like anything really.
Yeah, I won't downplay any feeders out there. There's a lot of really good feeder companies out, but some of them I've ordered some of the cheaper ones, and ship them to me.
I have to get producing again first. I've really hit a lull with this colder weather.
Yeah, but some breeders, some mice breeders, some feeder breeders, like, dude, you open up the box, and even just opening the box, it reeks like piss. And I'm allergic to mice. It's the last thing I want, right? It's just like, I know that smell is going to make my eyes itch and my armpits itchy, and your armpits don't get they itch, Justin. They itch.
Okay. All right. Might be your deodorant.
I don't know the smell of something has the power to make one's armpits itch.
Straight to my pits.
Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for the 2024. I'm just kidding. But no, anyway, allergies are different for everybody. I obviously found out that I suffer. Yeah,
and you get itchy armpits.
You should see me deal with mealworms now. It's so cool. Like, do you want to see my eyes swollen? That's fucking rad.
I can just see Chris sitting in his reptile room, just all itchy.
Like a freaking gorilla.
And I'm not like a small person, right? And I'm not like this like lithe little person that's like, allergies are gonna kill me. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like working out in my garage, I'm like, goddamn, hope there's not any mice in here, right? It sucks.
Love holding a leopard gecko in one hand. Just why?
My poor little girl. Oh, my little baby is gonna have allergies just like mine, because she's having issues with the mealworms now. And we're getting rid of a good portion of the leopard gecko projects. We're still going to keep some, because if we keep it to a minimum, it's not too bad. But yeah, I'm sniffly right now. Dog, what's up? You know what I mean?
Get her into Euromastics instead.
And to think she wanted a bunny.
She wanted a bunny so bad.
I think she was just trying to kill you, Chris.
Yeah, I was like,
you know what'll
explaining to
really
her, I
do
was
it?
like,
Let's get a rabbit.
if I touch an animal, I'll literally just die in front of you, Lily. And she was all, it's worth it.
So
Hey,
you
we're
like-
about to sell a bunch more.
That's great.
if you like the smell of mouse piss when you open the box, just wait until you get a rabbit.
You know, growing up, we had a rabbit in the backyard.
Do they piss
I
and
don't know.
everything?
I don't know.
The males are bad.
So gnarly.
We had a pet rabbit named Winter my whole life. Well, not my whole life, my whole childhood. And I don't remember ever even touching it. I just remember having it. My dad loved it. It was weird.
Yeah, you lived through it. You obviously never touched it.
Yeah, you're still here.
Like fucking Big Ed on Ed, Ed and Eddie. Bunny.
I lived, bitches. Anyways, awesome. Well, I'm really excited, Justin. You know, obviously watching those Ladies Islands go this year is going to be exceptional. Also, I kind of really like that Ladies Island to that dark anery female. That's pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
that'll be cool.
Liz, you have a pantheon of exceptional pairings. I'd love to see what that Ultramel Tessera female, the Het Candy Peppermint, whatever. That's going to be a great pairing. Joe, you know, you said you didn't have a lot of pairings. You kind of showed us just one, but damn, what a pair, right?
Like it goes. Yeah.
Some pied blood reds going. Love that female's face or the male's face too.
Mm-hmm.
That those rosy white cheek, rosy. I guess they're not rosy. The lack of rosy, solid white pale cheeks.
He's got
Very
heterochromia too.
Oh no way!
He's
They're
got different colored eyes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
one
well, that's
pupil
cool.
is ruby and the other is black.
Huh.
That's
I wonder if he's a chimera. That'd be kind of cool.
It's a
I
snake.
don't know.
Not a
It's
chimera.
fucking Justin. It's possible, but
That's
the
kinda cool.
guy. I won't go into it right
So-
now.
No, but it's some kind of paradoxing or something.
Right.
It's kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well,
Doc Wyman will listen to this and tell us everything about it.
I'm getting a message tomorrow telling me what I was wrong about.
Yep,
I love Doc.
I love it.
Some of the best conversations I have with anybody is with Doc. He's a sweetheart.
It's best.
Yeah, everything he's done in life has been great. He's a good man.
He's
Awesome.
way smarter than I'll ever be.
Dude, God, yeah, absolutely, amen.
Yeah.
Well, this episode was brought to you by BlackBoxCages.com. As always, you need a rack, go shop. You need a cage, go shop. BlackBoxCages.com. Go take a look around. Even if you're not necessarily buying something or in need of something right away, go check out what they have to offer. Use the code THN at checkout. Get 10% off your order. If you're in the general southeast region of the U.S., near North Georgia or whereabouts there, there's a pickup option. Save on shipping, save on freight, all that stuff. Just make the trip. Me and Jake have found that it is actually cheaper to usually get a U-Haul or take a trailer up there than bother with freighting and whatnot. So if you're able to, we recommend it. Then SilentHillReptiles.com. JT and Mindy always doing cool stuff. Sounds like they're going to have a really good year too. With
Got a lot of stuff
planned.
Yeah, they got some good stuff planned.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that via Facebook, Instagram, SilentHillReptiles.com for their for sale page, and then FullVisApparel.com. You need some shirts, maybe even a hoodie because it is getting cold. Use the code THN at checkout on there as well. Get 15% off your order just for THN listeners and viewers like you. We'll be back Monday night for Snakes and Stogies. Enjoyed it. Everyone have a good evening.
Love you guys.
Liz, Joe, KP, thank you all.
And Liz, Joe, thank you all so much for coming on. Kind of a little bit short notice, but it was a great episode.
Yeah, I love having you guys.
Got a few things planned for some future guests that we're going to be hitting up here. Try to be doing at least a show a month and maybe even more. I think CornStars is going to have a good year.
I think so too. We'll see everybody later.